also available in plural, right?
Well, yeah,
Squawks.
it's a verb.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, you're saying the noun?
Yeah, I think.
My squawks?
Yeah.
You could say my squawks. You could say my squawking.
No, it's done already.
It's done. This is going to be disastrous because I can't actually look at
That's why I was like...
Twitter.
That's why I was offering... I was gonna offer my old laptop.
Oh, it's fine. Don't worry.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
You're gonna do a lot more singing in the stream? Is the stream already on?
It's on, but I'm just like waiting to see if anyone actually shows up.
Oh. Well, sometimes you need to give it time, no?
Yeah.
Look at this Ezra panel that I drew that I'm very happy with.
Oh my god.
Yes, freak out.
Oh my god. I'm so excited for the rest of this whole...
a stealth shade runner stream.
every stream is a shade runner stream.
Since I learned how to stream now,
yeah,
I'm
exactly.
unstoppable.
It was my brother's birthday yesterday.
Did you forget?
No.
Oh, okay.
I sent him a voice message being like, hey, happy birthday. If there's any games or anything that you want, like, let me know and I'll buy them for you. And he's like, Eve, there's no need for gifts. I am content. And I'm like, oh. Very...
Which brother?
Elliot.
All right.
The middle one.
What are you gonna give him then?
Nothing. He's content.
Eve.
Honestly, he's so hard to buy for.
Just draw him a little something.
Maybe. He doesn't want anything.
That's code for I don't know what I want from you, but I want something.
No, it's genuinely, that's just how he is.
But he would be happy if you gave him something.
I know my brother, and I've
I've known him.
I've known him for 24 years now.
No.
It's all good. No, this is horrifying. I can't do anything.
Do you want me to grab your iPad?
No, it's fine. I'll just suffer.
Yeah. Sounds about right. Did you link it to Discord or stream?
Discord?
Yeah.
No?
In the
hole?
Yeah, in the hole. Do you want me to out there?
No, it doesn't matter.
What if people want to tune in? They don't know.
I suppose. I'm like full of fear now.
Why?
For having to say things.
No. Once you see the picture, like the 8 pages, they'll be...
I'm sorry?
Once you see the pages, you'll know what to say about them.
Oh, I updated the ones that I drew before with the recolors, like the laser tag ones.
Oh, that's fun.
So the old ones are gone from the site now. I'm so glad. Hidden from sight. Oh, that means I've got to change them on Webtoon and Tapas as well, though. Ugh. Such a pain.
Yeah, nah. Do you format them for Tapas as well?
No, I just put the pages on Tapas. But with Webtoon, I have to reformat.
Yeah. I just figured maybe you would use the same reformats for Tapas because it's similar.
Yeah. I'm gonna check Webtoon and see how complicated it was.
It's me.
Thank you. Oh, yeah, because it's multiple episodes. Ah, that's so annoying.
Mm.
Oh, well. Just gonna leave this up for like... I have it open on the homepage for now. Oh, wait, can you see the download thing?
Mm-hmm.
No, okay. I think there are a couple of people here, and I'm not sure. But if there are, I'm just waiting.
I'm gonna check.
I'm just waiting for a couple more minutes, and then I guess I'll start. I'm like, oh, I see. I'm all snuggled up in Alex's bed with some tea.
Hey.
I think you're too far away, maybe, for my microphone to pick you up.
That's okay.
Oh, my other aunt just texted me about... She just texted me, I transferred £20 for you. For your fundraiser.
That's very sweet.
It's so cute.
Liked my retweet. One little Dan Barry.
Aw.
He never likes my tweets.
Did he? I didn't get that notification.
Okay, or maybe it's from my retweet. Yeah.
Oh, for your aha. Okay, well... Yeah, okay. I guess I'll just start, which is terrifying. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, I'm just gonna... Basically, I'm going to be speaking to you.
Oh, okay. You want to come over here?
Wait.
I thought you would have your space over there, but...
I'll come closer, because then if you want to say anything as well, the microphone will actually pick you up.
I think it's picking me up.
I don't know.
Feeling.
I don't know. Can you hear yourself?
Oh, no. It's
okay. Ah, this is cozy, snuggly sounds. Ugh. Okay. I've already lost all my nerve to do this.
You'll be fine.
Oh, big baby.
I can just ask questions.
Please don't ask me questions.
I can interview you.
That's even scarier than
What's the next step in your life? You're at 26 and no prospects.
You're so mean.
No.
Okay, well, here we go. Basically, what I thought I would do is, go back through. I do tend to reread the comic quite a lot. To make sure pacing is okay. Oh, good, my laptop is frozen, so that's fun. There we go. To make sure pacing is okay. And so I thought it would be fun to go back and talk about the different things. Also, okay, I have a habit of scrolling very quickly, and I don't want it to cause motion sickness or something. Can I zoom out? Maybe I'll just full screen this. Okay. Does that work?
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to see what's best for framing the page.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've got this huge annoying banner at the top.
Yeah.
That's okay, isn't it?
Yeah, I think
that's
this is fine. Yeah.
Okay. So basically, I'm just going to go back through and talk about the pages and talk about what has changed since and what I was thinking when I made certain choices, and the lovely Alex Hassan from Shade Runners is here.
What were you thinking?
To pass. What was I thinking for the past 4 years? Why did I do this? Hello, Adrian. Okay. So basically, the first couple of pages of Inhibit were not planned at first. I actually started to draw the first chapter, and I got about halfway finished with the first chapter, and I thought, I can't remember, I think I was reading something else, and they had like a little wordless prologue, and I was like, I want one of those. So I did that.
Was it Shade Runners?
It may have been Shade Runners. It may have been.
That was a joke.
When did I start reading Shade Runners? I think it was like a year after I started Inhibit, actually. So like early 2016?
I know when I started reading Inhibit, but I don't know when it was. I just know based on the scene.
Really?
I remember when I stopped.
I remember pages, like what page I started on for most webcomics, like the most recent page. I don't remember for Shade Runners.
Interesting. Because it's so long.
Because it's just it's too long a comic.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm gonna burp.
Go for it.
No, it's okay.
Show them what you got.
I swallowed it.
Well, you know what I say, better out than in.
Oh, please don't. So I wanted to add this little thing, especially because Paulina doesn't appear in the comic for ages afterwards, and the end of the first chapter refers to something she did, which is here, where she's setting fire to the inside of an office. So I was like, it would be interesting to see that first, and then we get a little bit more context for it at the end of the chapter. So I added it. It looks nothing like Paulina, and I've actually redrawn this prologue for the book, which is coming out and is now on Kickstarter, because I hate this, and I wanted to redraw it. Title drop. So I actually started to draw Inhibit. I started 3 different times to draw it. 4 times, because the 4th time it's here. And when I say I started to draw, I mean I drew half of the first page and then stopped. So the first time I did it was when the main character was completely different and she doesn't actually exist in the story anymore. And then the second time was when the comic originally started with the scene where Nathan is like, we're going to get you your license and you're going to come back to Urquhart. That's where the comic originally started, and that's the end of chapter 2 now. And then I started to draw this page with pencil on physical paper, and then I realized that was a terrible idea. And then the 4th time I drew it on the computer, and it started for real. People who actually draw the whole thing, like traditionally, I can't fathom having drawn this whole comic traditionally. That's just insane. So, I don't have anything else to say about this page. Oh, these cars that I drew, I didn't think to reference them in any way. So, like, this, for example, I don't really know. I've obviously never seen a car in my life. Have you seen? Look at this.
I know. It just zoomed in just after you said that.
Oh, are you watching it? Oh, God.
Yeah, I'm on the stream. I want to see the comments. I want to stir shit up in the...
Stir shit up.
chat.
Oh, also, I like putting things that only I know are Easter eggs. So the license plate for Victor's mom's car is the start of my old address from when I lived in Tokyo, which is 3117 Minami Azabu. So that's for me alone.
Doxed.
That Easter egg. Doxed, yeah. That building doesn't exist anymore. I told you, it was demolished.
I won't dox you then.
These things hanging from the ceiling are supposed to be lamps. These, like, tea things. And this is meant to be like a 3D waterfall. Oh boy, what did I do? The backgrounds are extremely basic for the first, like, 3/4 of this comic. I remember drawing this little plant, and I was so chuffed with this plant. was like, oh yeah, I'm a real comic artist.
It's cute.
Thank you. Yeah, God, I had no idea what I was doing with any of these backgrounds. Yeah. This original Urquhart logo as well is replaced in the new version for the book by a logo that Spire did. Thank you, Spire. It's Nathan.
Hell yeah.
Sorry, I realized.
Can you talk a bit about Nathan?
This is Nathan. This is Alex's favorite character.
Sure,
And I love him dearly.
So do I.
As does Alex. It's been fun with this chapter that's just gone up now with the laser tag. To go back to drawing him when he's young and carefree and not a complete asshole. But I do miss asshole Nathan, so I'm excited to go back to that. I've realized a fatal flaw in this plan of reading the comic on a stream. I have to kind of actually read the comic to think of things to say. So if I go silent, it is just because I'm reading it and trying to work something out that I can say that's interesting. Something vaguely interesting, maybe only to me, is that Nathan, his name used to be Nathaniel, and Nathan was the short one, and then Nathan became the normal name and Nate, which is better.
Yeah, can I just say thank you? Thank you for Nate.
Yeah, this profile here that I drew, I remember being crazy proud of that. And this like crack lettering, I was like, oh my god, I'm such a good comic artist. There's one page when we get to, that I specifically showed to my dad because I was so proud of it. And it's the most boring page. I'm very excited to get there.
You definitely told me about it, but I don't think you showed me the page, and I'm really excited to see
It's the most innocuous, boring, ugly coloring page.
I'm sure you're being too harsh.
No.
But also I'm excited to see it.
I'm sure. Alright, well here we are in present day. Nothing really interesting to say about this, I don't think. Yeah. Rachel, so Rachel's name is Rachel Hofsty, and she is named after my 4th grade homeroom teacher, Miss Hofsty, who was very inspiring to me as a child, and she was always like, Eve, you need to write a book one day, and you need to get yourself published, and now I'm like 3 days away from that actually happening, which is very exciting.
Did you send her a link?
I haven't. I can't get in contact with her. I'm absolutely gutted. There's another teacher. Actually, so I've stolen a lot of my teachers' names for Inhibit. One of the other ones is Miss McGowan, so I stole that for David's surname. And she's passed away now, unfortunately. And also Miss Larner, which I've stolen for one of the facility names. And Miss Larner was my English teacher in 11th and 12th grade. And she was less inspiring than Miss Hofsty and Miss McGowan, but she was still very cool. And now that my book is coming out and I've been advertising the Kickstarter link on my Facebook, all my high school friends are reading the comic and realizing that I've stolen Miss Larner.
I got her, and I intend to keep her.
I've got the stat. Yeah, so here are 3 more kids. Joe, Sid, and David. I'm a big fan of this. I don't know how to draw anything. This big blob that's supposed to be Joe's back legs. Yep, that's
Where?
that. It's like, it's not really, like here, this thing. That's supposed to be her foot.
Oh,
That's
okay.
supposed to be her legs. Like, just, like, weird perspective back the way.
I mean, it looks alright. You would
Yeah.
have never noticed it.
Oh, also, so it's not really... Sorry, I'm going back to this previous page again. It's not come up yet. It will come up soon. But the reason that Jo's hair color changes is because her power is telekinesis. So every day she gets, like, hair chalk. And she's better at controlling really, really small things rather than, like, big things. So she gets hair chalk and she puts it through her hair every day so she can, like, take it in and out easily without having to wash it out of her hair every time. So that's a fun character fact for you. And here's Nathan again. Yep. So
I
something...
can't see him.
He's here. Maybe, is it like, you're going to be a bit behind?
I'm a lot behind, yeah.
Yeah, because that's just how the stream is.
Yeah, there he is.
There he is. So... Okay, well, I guess we'll see it in a minute, so I won't show it just now. This is the page. Okay, this is the page that I like took through.
It's so early on.
No, not this one. It's the next one.
Oh, no.
This is the page that I was like, yeah, I have to show this to my parents because I'm so proud of how it came out. There's nothing like special about it, and also this is with like my relettering. I like relettered the first couple of chapters, so it was even less impressive before. But yeah, this is the one. Like this, the chair wasn't drawn in. I just kind of colored that there. There's nothing particularly impressive about this page, but I was super proud of it. So I'm gonna now talk about how Victor Nate's inhibitors work, because again, it's never explicitly stated. So they basically take whatever electrical charge they're producing and they turn it into light so that it gets rid of the charge. So that's why, like in this panel, Nate's inhibitors aren't lit up, but in this one they are, because he's frustrated, so he's producing electricity, and so his inhibitors light up.
I definitely didn't realize that.
I know, it's not something I've outright said yet. So, especially later on, when Victor's upset or frustrated or angry or something, his inhibitors will light up. Just a little fact. Just a little inhibit fact.
It's good, I enjoyed it. It's a good fact.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. And this is where we have the first mention of Jezza, Jeremy, who is Julia's mentor, and also our first mention of going dormant, which is where you lose your powers. That's very sad.
Can you unlock your phone for me?
What are you trying to do?
Tweet.
You don't need to tweet.
I'm gonna.
You don't need to, though.
But I'm gonna.
Okay. There you go. Yeah, this is the units. Sorry, I'm reading the page.
It's okay, I'm tweeting. If people have questions...
If you have questions, feel free to ask. I
have the
I have it like open on the side here.
Yeah.
So one of this game, the PlayStation game that they're playing, is a PS1 game called Bust-a Move, and it's a little bubble game. I don't have anything. I don't have a PS3 or PS4. I have a PS2, and I have a lot of PS1 games that I still play. And Bust-a Move is one of my favorite PS1 games, so I wanted Julia to be able to play it. And also, they don't have access to any new consoles or anything. They kind of have to just live with whatever they've got. So they have a rubbish old PS1. And David is reading Harry Potter, which I actually removed for the book I changed it from Harry Potter to, like, Wizard School or something.
The Boy Wizard.
The Boy Wizard!
Eve, can you talk a bit about the Boy Wizard?
The Boy Wizard is a chain, specifically in Edinburgh, I think.
Maybe.
And it's all, like, Harry Potter merch. Harry Potter is, like... Edinburgh is a big Harry Potter city because J.K. Rowling wrote most of it here, and so there's lots of, like, landmarks. My friend works at the joke shop that inspired the Weasley joke shop, which is on this.
Me like
I'm telling it to you because I'm, like, speaking over there to Gonzo.
I thought you were like to Gonzo. I thought you were like trying to get
I'm
me
telling
to say
you.
the name, and I don't know it.
No, it's called Ahaha or Ahahaha.
No, I mean the joke shop in Harry Potter.
Oh, Weasley Wizarding Weezes. I know Harry Potter. So yeah, this Boy Wizard is just one of these, like, shite merch shops full of Harry Potter junk. That's another Inhibit fact for you. Yeah, Victor's just moaning. And some more moaning. And one of many bad phone calls. What are you tweeting over there?
Can I ask a question about the phone call?
Uh-huh.
Like, this may be a little silly, but is it on purpose that you'd never show the other side?
Yeah.
Yeah? Can you talk a bit about that?
I don't really have a particular reason. I mean, it's like, I think it's more interesting to see, in this one, it's more interesting to see Victor's response to whatever the other person is saying. So he's talking to his stepdad here, which obviously it's not a good conversation. It's not going well. And then, like, the other phone call that he has, no one is on the other end.
Right.
Like, because it just hangs up.
Right.
So,
about that.
We don't know what that was about yet.
Oh, man.
I know. Maybe we'll find out soon.
I forgot about that entirely.
I know. This is one of those things where I'm going to have to be like, do you remember that one? Remember that one panel 3 years ago? Yeah. So this panel of Nate driving, I didn't know how to do lighting of any kind. I didn't know how to draw a car moving. And I think a few people have said that they thought this... Why am I pointing with my finger? They thought this streak of light was, like, paint on the side of the car. No, it's meant to show he's driving. I just couldn't draw that. Masha! So, for some reason, I was like, I'm gonna hide her face here. And then, when I reveal her, it'll be a whole reveal. Like, oh my god, that's what she looks like. That's the only reason she's wearing a mask in this scene. I mean, she's also wearing a mask, I suppose, because of the smoke. But the thought process behind it was, I'm going to make her reveal mysterious. Whatever. It's Masha. Masha. Yeah. All this horrible blue coloring that I had to change for the book because this particular blue is, like, extremely not CMYK friendly. Yeah, Chalice. Oh no.
You skipped so fast.
Skipped what?
You skipped a page.
Well, I had nothing to say. I was talking about the blue.
Okay. Oh, now it's Chalice. Cool.
Yeah. Let me see.
Let me have it back.
Let me see what you were saying for so long on my phone.
Oh, I just don't know how to use your phone.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, when I was tweeting for you, nice. When I was tweeting for you, it took me like 3 times as long because I kept hitting the wrong buttons on your very annoying phone.
Your phone doesn't have autocorrect.
Yeah, because I don't need it. Sometimes I want to typo on purpose.
I'm making a face.
For the goof.
Sure.
For the laughs. These 2 panels of Masha and Nate, I still really like. I think these are my favorite panels from this chapter. Yep. Good. I'm really good at coming up with interesting things to say.
I think it'll come to you as we like also reach the later points.
Yeah, I have
to
more.
Remember.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes, I have a very poor memory. But when it comes to my comic, I remember everything. So, this is someone... This is supposed to be the word chalice and chalice's logo, symbol, which is this Y thing, burned into the side of the building. I don't know if that came across, but that's what it's supposed to be.
I think it did.
Now we'll skip to the next chapter if my computer wants to go there. Chapter 2. So something else that I did for the book is I changed all the chapter titles because... Not to, like, give them names, but just to make them match chapter 5. I'm just gonna skip over there real quick for people who may not be up to date. Yeah, so for chapter 5, I was wanting to mimic, well, I'll talk about it properly later, but I wrote it differently than I had the other times, and then when I was putting the book together, I was like, you know what would be fun if the other chapters didn't have this really boring font with the white outline, so I changed them all. So if you want to see those, you need to buy my book. Haha. What else can I say about this? Julia has a little family portrait on the side here. Oh no, I was gonna say which of her parents she got her power from, but I don't remember. So one of them, I'm sure. And then she also has a little snow globe, and some pictures of her and her friends. So this is Victor and David, and this is her and Joe, who she used to date. They used to be girlfriends, which will come up later. It's not been
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's not been said yet, but they used to date. And that's her and Cameron, her current partner, unfortunately. Victor is brushing his teeth weird in this panel because I referenced the wrong hand, so if you actually try to brush your teeth like that, it's very unnatural and uncomfortable. Yeah, they're just having breakfast.
The panel of Julia jumping into his bed is still one of my favorites.
Thank you. Oh yeah, David didn't get bacon. I'm noticing that. That's not really an interesting fact, but he didn't have bacon for breakfast.
Can Victor doing things badly just like physically can just be like part of his character? Because
what was he doing badly?
Brushing his teeth.
Oh,
I was saying that it's just natural for him, and I feel like that could work. So if you just
he never learned how to brush his teeth properly.
You just lean into it.
Oh no, that's really sad.
No, Eve.
He never learned how to brush his teeth properly. Matrices. The reason I had them learning matrices is because I enjoyed learning about matrices. That's that. Oh, so the Urquhart uniform used to be a full body uniform. It was like a bodysuit, like a morph suit, basically. like a more traditional superhero outfit. It was really bad. So I changed it to just the top. But the shoes have evolved. Like, I kept forgetting which parts were colored white and which parts were colored dark. I'm going to find an example. I've got to remember which page it was on. Aha. Okay, well, it's not super interesting. But the parts here that are colored dark, here they're colored white. And then it changes, I'm sure, again later. Just one of many inconsistencies I will be pointing out during this stream. I think this is the page where I started to actually push expressions a little bit more as well.
Oh yeah.
Like, no, that's a lie. I think it's this panel where I decided to start making faces a little bit stranger. which I'm now taking to an extreme, and I'm having a lot of fun doing it. Oh no! When I relettered this page, so the bubble was originally not, it was like above these background people's heads. So I just never finished colouring the head. So the top half of Toby's head is just not there.
Where?
In this.
Oh yeah!
I need to go back and change that. Oh no!
This is a good idea. This is how you notice all the...
Can you write that down for me?
Yeah,
wait, unless...
Which page is this?
Chapter 2, page 6.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm super glad that I decided to make faces a little bit stranger. And even when I'm looking back at this now, I'm like, is that really as pushed as I thought I could go? You fool. Oh yeah, I tried a different colouring style for this one page, and then didn't do it ever again. Oh, something else I actually changed for the book. I don't want to look at that one.
How was the colouring style different?
So, no, I used to do this thing where I would put like a soft airbrush thing over the top. So it looked like everyone was blushing constantly, so I edited that all out for the book.
Mm-hmm.
And here I just tried to use more like a softer brush.
Yeah.
Like...
Oh yeah, I see.
I edited that out for the book as well, so it's more consistent. Because it was weird, it was just this one, or maybe 2 pages. Yeah, it was these like couple of pages. This page with Neil making a bad pun was not supposed to be there. They were just going to go straight in. But then I thought of this bad pun and added a whole page. It was worth it. I'm glad. A lot of people have said that Neil is their favourite character because of this. And I'm like, that's understandable, I suppose.
That's wild.
This page, I did not draw with bleed. I just literally... So, my pages, I never used to plan for publishing, for actually printing anything. And I was like, I don't know what bleed is. I'm sure I don't need it. So when I went back to edit these pages for the book, I didn't have bleed. And I was like, oh, this full background that I now have to, like, add a whole bunch extra onto the sides of so I can print it. The fucking nightmare. Yeah?
I used to do this thing where I was preparing something for print that didn't have a bleed originally. And I'm going to share this tip with you. It's a cheat. It's a hack, if you will. You just collect all that big panel. You just delete everything that isn't in the middle.
No!
And you just turn that into a regular ass panel.
No!
And then you don't need bleed on that page.
No!
Problem solved.
No! No! My vision was a full bleed page. I mean, that does make sense, and I probably could have done that, but I didn't. I drew it. I redrew the sides instead. I'll know for next time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's a helpful hack. Life hack.
Life hack. So this is Noor, and again, it's not come up in the comic yet. This is just basically all the stuff that I haven't put in yet. I'm just going to share, I suppose. Noor is dormant. I guess it's on the cast page. And her power was, like, biomanipulation, so she could heal things, and she used to work at Larner, which is briefly mentioned.
Got a question.
Oh, a bleed? Okay, so when you're printing, I'll go back to show. When you're printing something, and the image goes all the way to the edge of something, you want it to go over a little bit more than what you actually want to show, in case when they're chopping the pages, they don't chop exactly on that line. So here, for example, if you pretend that this is the file, the bleed would be this white bit around it. You would want that to be fully coloured so that when they trim the pages, there's not like a weird white outline. If that makes sense. That's a very poor explanation.
Spire also explained.
Oh, thank you, Spire. More succinctly and better than I did. But yeah, Noor is dormant, and she is also trans and gay. She was married to Rachel, actually.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, this is just all the stuff that I've never put in the comic yet, because I keep like reshuffling things and then forgetting to put stuff in. These two panels, I think this is the first time I ever referenced myself. I've referenced myself, like taking photos of myself for most of this comic, and I think this was the first time. And I think this panel especially is a good first reference to have. Just gonna this one.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Another one of my favorite
and you can
panels.
tell it's referenced because the lines are so much more detailed than usual.
It's very good.
Thank you. These two as well. This one and this one. Can you see my mouse on the thing?
No, I can't. I was just about to tell you.
Oh no! This whole time I've been using my mouse to point at things. Can I change that?
You're asking me?
I'm asking myself, and I'm going to check my settings.
Whoa.
Okay, I guess not. Sorry, I've been like... Oh, I can change that. Where? Settings. Okay, well, whatever. Yeah, so these two panels, I reference myself. And I have all these pictures still on my computer. For future blackmail, I guess.
Yeah, I would love to see them. Could you do like a little PDF for Patreon?
I guess I could. Just pictures of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really... I could have... Okay, when I was actually just reading, I was reading the comic today to check for typos. I read the whole thing for typos, and then I was like, you know what would be a really good idea? Reading it again in front of other people. And I had something to say about this page, but I don't remember what it was, so I'm just going to go next. This weirdly detailed hairdryer, which I referenced from Google.
It's just like the things you decided were worth referencing versus the things...
I know! I'm like cars,
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, I don't know what that looks like, but a car, I got it.
This hairdryer, which I need to get like all the different colors exactly right.
I mean, it looks great.
It looks fine. It doesn't need to look like this. So yeah, David can obviously speak. Thank you. But he also uses sign language when he's got his headphones on. And Julia can't speak sign language, but Victor can speak a little bit, or use a little bit. Sorry, I'm reading. Yeah, no, he learned a little bit of sign language so that he could speak to David when he was wearing his headphones.
And it's like the only nice thing he's ever done.
I know.
I love him.
Yeah, again, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask, because otherwise I am just going to continue rambling. I just keep noticing speech bubbles where I'm like, oh, I really need to re-letter that one. But I already have.
3 times.
No, I know, but like, I already have re-lettered these for the book.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay.
But
These
I'm
are
like,
the old ones.
These are the old ones. I'm not updating
Honestly,
them for...
they look good to me. Like, it looks good.
Please. When the book gets here, and you compare them, you will say that the book is better.
No, I'm sure it's better.
And I want it to be better, so it's fine.
No, I'm sure it's better, but this looks great.
I have relettered this comic, 5 times. That alleyway is amazing, Spire. Have I shown you this weird alleyway near Waverley?
Yeah, I was just about to ask if it's in Edinburgh.
Yeah.
I don't think you've shown it to me.
Okay, well, it's not, super interesting, but it's a picture I took.
Next time we go to Tiger.
It's, under Calton Hill, so it's,
Is it a close? Or is it just...
No, it's just a little alley.
Oof, okay. I'll never understand what a close is.
A close is, I wouldn't call this one a close.
Okay. I guess I'll have to see it.
Yeah, it's gotta be it's a gut thing. Mm-hmm. Is this a close or an alley? So here's something, again, that's probably never going to be explained ever. This is, I'm using the mouse. In the bushes in the back here, that's the remnants of the ladder, and Sid broke the ladder.
How?
He just did it, and it's fine. And they hid it in the bushes.
Oh, I see. That's very cute.
So this is a comics drawing tip, I guess. These three panels, they look super stiff because I was using the line tool to get the lines exactly straight. And a really easy way to make your panels look less stiff is to just draw straight lines freehand, even if it takes a couple of tries. I think when I started to do that, panels got a lot less stiff looking.
Yeah, what I sometimes do is that I do the sketch with the line tool, but then I trace it freehand, so it's not as
yeah. So you
hard.
you still know where you're going.
You got a question, by the way.
Oh, Victor just doesn't like water on him.
Does Victor have a thing with sensory stuff? Because he doesn't like to be touched in general.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Does that relate to the water?
He doesn't. He doesn't.
Different thing.
He doesn't have a sensory thing. He just doesn't like to be touched. For emotional trauma reasons.
Oh boy.
And the water thing, he's he's got electrical powers. Don't you do this to me. You're the worst.
Josh is here, by the way.
Hi, Josh. It's alright, I'll keep that a secret for myself, Josh, thank you. Yeah, no, nothing would have happened if she dripped water on him. He's just don't get water on me. More reference pictures of myself taking off my shoes. I know this is totally not how a lockpick works, but that's how Julia's using it, I guess. Just sticking it under the door to hit the lock open. It's one of those flippy locks. It's fine. Don't worry about it. And this is not really foreshadowing. A thing that comes back later, where this is the shirt that Julia gives to Paulina at the end.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How do I paste?
Paste.
Thank you.
And the reason David's so excited here is because his power is pretty rubbish, and he gets to hang out with all these people with way cooler powers. So the idea of having a shirt that's I'm dangerous is haha. I get to play pretend for a little while. You gonna load the rest of the page, please? Okay, well, we'll go next. Oh no, okay, alright. It's like if the bottom half of every page starts, there we go, okay, alright. Yeah, so even just stuff like this, this door, I don't know, I think it's better in general, if you can, to freehand your lines. It just makes it look a little bit less flat. This is still like a rubbish panel, but yeah, that's the end of my thought. Yeah.
It's not.
No, I mean it's not a good panel. There.
Yeah, but that was a few years ago.
It was a few years ago. 2015. Oh my goodness.
I'm excited to get to the more recent stuff.
I am too. I'll just skip a freak out. This is something that Victor does a lot, by the way, when he's scared, is he just clutches and drags his face, which is a lot of fun to draw. Oh, so in the same way that he didn't want the water on him, I'll just go back a couple of pages. When he's climbing on this big metal thing, he puts his sleeves over his hands. Just...
Yeah, I was wondering about that, actually.
Yeah. Well, again, he's got electrical powers and he's just extremely nervous all the time, so he has his hands covered. So yeah, like here he's taking... Again, I'm using my mouse. He's taking his sleeves down. Next, please. And then here he's covering them back up again. Also, okay, so the first time you see Victor's ankle bracelet house arrest thing is not later. I'm really good at putting sentences together. So you can actually see it here, but I don't think you'd know what it was unless you already knew he had one. You already knew he had an ankle bracelet. But you can see it in this panel. And you can see it again later.
You know what I can also see in this panel?
His ass?
Yeah, his little butt.
His little butt, which I didn't know how to draw.
Well,
really bad at drawing butts.
I wouldn't say that.
It's very tight jeans.
That tracks.
Yeah, now we're back to Nate.
Oh boy. There he is.
There he is. So this guy, okay, so this is the scene where the comic was originally going to start. And I was like writing it and I was like, this makes no fucking sense. There's no like, I don't know who any of these characters, well, I know, but a reader wouldn't know who any of these characters are and wouldn't care and wouldn't have any sort of reference point. So I added the first chapter and a half to like build up who the characters were. Because if it just started from here, it's like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And also this Sperling, the guy who runs the estate, he was supposed to be mean as well. And I was like, this is just a really sad scene of just Victor getting yelled at by Nate and this old guy. So I made him not mean. And I gave him mustard and ketchup outfit.
I think that was a good call. Not the mustard and ketchup.
No, yeah, it's so much better if he's a little bit oblivious and just a little bit old. Very old. So yeah, like I said about the inhibitors, like his inhibitors are lighting up here. And also, so Nate and Victor have different inhibitors, and that is because Nate's are new and modern, And Victor's are old.
Oh, I thought it was because Nate was like, didn't need those big-ass clunky inhibitors because
no.
he's better at like controlling his power.
Well, both.
Okay.
But also his are new. So like you can see from like when Victor's a kid, he's got like the really big ones.
Mm-hmm.
And then now they're still long, but they're not as big.
Yeah.
And Nate has like the latest brand.
Of course. Anything for Nate. Did you see Jirogue is here?
Oh, hello, Jirogue. I'm sorry, Alex has put me onto this as well now. Yeah, no, this whole scene was really fun. This was the first scene I was looking forward to drawing in the comic. And then after this one, it was the scene where Paulina fucks shit up at the end of chapter 3.
God.
Yes.
That's a lot of in between.
And then it was when Paulina appeared again at the end of chapter 4.
Are there scenes that you didn't think you would be excited to draw, but then when you were drawing them, you were like, this is the best. It's so much fun.
I enjoyed drawing... So, yes, and I'll talk about it when I get there.
Okay.
To give me something to talk about when I get to those pages.
I'm hype.
Yeah, this whole scene is sad. I'm sorry. Just skipping through it. Also, so someone's asked me before if the reason that, even though he's wearing his inhibitors, like, Victor's still going all sparky and he's still, like, making electricity. And it's not that he's... Ooh, boy. It's not that he's so strong that his inhibitors are too weak. It's that they're really old, and they're just not working the way they're supposed to. So, like, later on, he goes to Nora and he says, like, these aren't working. And she's like, yes, because they're too dang old. He needs new ones. Also, this panel, he's not supposed to be enormous. It's meant to be a small bed, but it just makes him look enormous.
I didn't think of that.
Oh,
I just thought it was a short...
Yeah, it's supposed to be a small bed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna skip through all these guest art things. I'm sorry. Thank you to all my guest artists over the years.
That was a cute little animation. Who did that?
Let's find out. Tyrannicliff, who does...
Oh, I know who that is, yeah.
Yeah, I've never read that webcomic, but it looks really cute.
Yeah, that's very good.
Oh, what's this?
I don't know. It's not loaded yet.
I can't wait for you to see it. This is Alex's first guest page for me.
It says that it's by Caps, so that's not me.
It does not say that.
Shit, did you update it?
I certainly did.
God, okay.
Alex San.
Well, you're on to me now.
You misspelled... Did you misspell capital it? No, you didn't.
No, I did not.
Okay, well, thank you, Alex. Chapter 3. We're getting there. Again...
I love this scene.
Thank you. Is it just because Nate's an asshole?
I love Masha too. I feel like... I said this before in the chat, I don't know if you saw, but like... I really like their relationship.
Oh.
They seem to have like a very... Like... It feels like they've known each other for ages, and that they somehow respect each other's judgment, even when he's being an asshole. Like, he later apologizes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they've known each other since Masha joined. Because, like, Masha is 19, and she's known Nate the entire time she was at Urquhart, so she's always seen him, because he was, like, a mentor.
Yeah.
She's always seen him as, like, a person to respect. So she's kind of just used to respecting his judgment, I suppose, yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe, now that she's older, things are changing. Maybe her opinion of Nate is not as high as it once was.
That tracks.
This towel, I remember being super, super proud of that towel. Also, Masha's hair just gets bigger and bigger throughout the comic. It's the same with everyone's hair. It gets bigger and bigger. And Victor's gets fluffier. I think that's partly Spire's influence. Oh yeah, and Nate is moved into Jeremy's room. He was the old captain of their team, and he hasn't worked out how to get the name sign off the door, which will come back very briefly.
I was about to say that that's like us.
Yeah, we also need to put our name on the door downstairs.
Yep.
So Nate is supposed to be left-handed, but almost every time he crosses his arms, he does it the way a right-handed person would do it, just because I'm right-handed and I keep forgetting that not everyone folds their hands.
That's more attention to detail than I've ever
it's like there's
exhibited.
in the last scene, Victor and Nate are sitting next to each other and they're like doing the exact same folded arm thing. So every time I see that, I'm like, oh no.
But even the fact that you know that he's left-handed is a lot of attention to detail.
Yeah. I think David's left-handed as well.
I love that it's like the same like pose in Nate and Victor in that little transition.
I love that too.
Yeah. It's good.
Very proud of myself with that.
You should be. It's cute. It's good.
So something here. I drew... What's this? Who's texting me? Ew. I drew... Sorry, I got a bad text from a friend. I drew Julia's crutches, like, the under the arm ones that you always see in cartoons. Do you know the ones I mean?
Yeah.
And then I was like, I don't know what these actually look like. So I Googled crutches and I realized that no one uses those in their day-to-day. That you have to use the ones with the arm brace. So please research if you're ever doing anything ever. Please research so you don't actually end up looking like an idiot. So now I know. Now I know which crutches someone would use. Also, so there's only like... is it 10 or 11 kids who live at Earl? But there's always way more chairs, way more tables than the kids, and that's on purpose as well. Like, it's meant to feel a little empty.
Wow.
Because it's like a really rundown place,
right.
And they're meant to be able to hold more people, but they don't have the funding for it, and it's just supposed to make it look a little bit shittier. I did not draw 1 million chairs just for fun. Oh, thank you so much, George. Have a good night. Sweet dreams. So yeah, this is one of the other kids, Scott, getting released to his 2 mums. And now Holly, who I love. Holly is just another kind yet oblivious person in Vic's life. I haven't mentioned this guy. This is Lapin, who everyone calls Rabbit because, like, a lapin is a rabbit in French.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah.
Oh.
But Lapin isn't a French name. I think it's maybe Russian or something.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little French joke for ya.
It's cute.
Also, for this page, I got a lot of comments being like, how did he put his seatbelt on? And I'm like, he didn't. It's not put on properly. It's like through, because he's handcuffed, so he can't put his seatbelt on.
Oh yeah, it's over his arm.
Yeah, so it's like, haha, he didn't put his seatbelt on properly, actually. Does this say anything? It doesn't say anything. Oh, there's sometimes I put, like, if there's words or like posters, I will put actual words on them, but they're just too small for anyone to ever read. I think one of them, I'm going to go back and find one. There's a poster in the room Where will it be? Let me see. Nope, that's the wrong chapter. There is a poster in this room that's just a list of all the Homestuck trolls.
What?
Yeah, so these two posters...
Did you have to edit it too for the book?
No, because you can't... It's so small, no one's ever going to read it.
Oh my god.
But when I was writing them, I was just listing the Homestuck trolls.
That's so funny.
So that's what that poster is.
It's a lot of dedication.
Yeah, I'm really... Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that. So now it's Deepak and Nirav, who are a lot of fun to write. So for this panel, I went through to my flatmates at the time. I went through to her room, and I was like, Steph, I need you to get on top of me and pretend to punch me, and I need to take a picture of it. And she was not game at first. That was a very awkward reference picture to have to take.
Question.
Yes.
Do you still have the pictures?
That one maybe not, because that one was on my phone. A lot of the time I use Photo Booth on my computer. I'm really sorry.
Oh, I love the twins.
I love them so much.
Can you talk about the differences between them a little bit? Not just physical, like their personalities. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm going here to
This is just a platform where I get to ask you some questions that's been on my mind.
So Deepak, who is so I cannot remember half the time myself, so I'm on the cast page to remember. So Deepak is the one who goes by he, and he is much rowdier, and he's very like... No, is it Nirav? Hang on a minute, let me remember.
Nirav's the one who won the fight.
Yes, okay. So Deepak is the one who is less rowdy.
Right.
And Nirav is the one who is more rowdy.
I love that that's your measurement of how to remember them. More rowdy and less rowdy.
Yes.
It's great.
He's more rowdy and... No, they're more rowdy and he's less rowdy. And... Nirav is the one who Nate usually, because they're both fire. Nirav is the one who Nate usually brings along. So throughout the chapter, Deepak is usually the one who's left behind, and it's just because Nirav is more enthusiastic. That's pretty much it.
I like it.
I hope that was correct.
I think that's correct.
I have it written. I have it written.
I also remembered Nirav being the one to go on missions more.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's...
Yeah, because I think... Deepak is the one who's left in the van, so yeah. This was a fun page to draw. So, a lot of the times, I don't have like a particular rule. Is Deepak pointier?
Oh, is it not on purpose?
I don't think so.
Oh. I saw it once they pointed it out, though.
Let me go back and look. Maybe that was unintentional. Maybe it was intentional at the time.
And you forgot?
Yeah. No, I think that must have been an accident. There's not really any like physical differences other than Deepak has a missing tooth.
How do you lose it?
I have an answer for this.
Is it a spoiler?
No.
Okay.
I was going to include it at some point, but basically someone was like, I can't tell you apart. So Deepak punched himself in the face and was like, can you tell us apart now?
That's amazing.
Yeah. I have it,
worked,
I have it drawn. I'll have to find you the drawing.
Oh my god.
It works.
Please post that.
Yeah.
It does work.
So basically, a lot of the time when I'm drawing faces, I will leave out a nose, but draw noses on the other characters. There's no, like, rule for what facial feature I'll leave off, because sometimes I'll leave out the eyes, or sometimes I'll leave out the mouth. And it's just whatever's funnier. Whatever feature is funnier to leave out. I will do it.
That's brave.
Thank you. I do try. Yeah, so like here I wanted somehow to differentiate them because I know they look the exact fucking same. And at first it was that Deepak's his fringe pointed to the right and Nirav's fringe pointed to the left.
Yes, that's not confusing.
Yeah, it sucked, so I stopped doing that. That's not a way to tell them apart anymore. But yeah, Nirav has all their teeth and Deepak has the missing tooth. And I'm so sorry. maybe one of them will get a haircut. But for now it's just the tooth. So you have to pray that their mouths are open. You can tell which one is which.
So like Victor being all anxious at seeing Masha.
Mm-hmm. They have a history.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I remember when I read it for the first time, I just assumed he like maybe used to have a crush on her a little bit.
He may have had a crush on her
because she seems like his type. Not that I claim to know what his type is, but I feel like if it was anyone in the cast, I can see this.
It was Masha.
Yeah, I can see it.
Well, so later on, Masha's like, I thought you got over what happened in Entry. So something happened. Mm-hmm. Whether or not it was... wait, let me double check what page has been updated so far. Okay, so whether or not this is the thing that she's referring to, we don't know yet. Mm-hmm. But something happened between them.
Yeah.
That made it a little bit awkward to see her again. So this is the first time that he's seeing her since that event, basically. I can tell you later.
Yeah, please. I'm dying to know.
Let me... Yes. But yeah. I love Masha and Victor's dynamic. It's so much fun
It's so fun.
It's so much fun. And there will be much more of that in the next chapter. Yes. There's a very long scene with just those two, and I'm very excited to draw it. So this is... they're getting ready to go out on a mission, and Victor is wearing Jeremy's old jacket. So Urquhart has... Every facility has a different way of differentiating the powers, and Urquhart's is this, like, the pattern on the shirts, and the jackets, I suppose. So, I guess this is the best. It's like the ice. So Jeremy's power is ice because he's Julia's ex-mentor, and the ice pattern is supposed to look kind of like icicles. So like it's a diamond. Like this is really hard to explain without showing.
Yeah, I'm like desperately trying to.
I'm holding my hands like up to try and work out how to say it. Basically, it's supposed to be the ice comes down the sides, and it looks like icicles going down, and then the white comes up, and it's supposed to look like. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean because you're
because I'm showing you.
Yeah. No, I'm messing with you. I think I know. I think it comes across what you mean.
Okay. Well, yeah, and so for example, the fire ones, like what Deepak and Nirav have, is like an upwards triangle, and it's like a flame.
Ah.
And cool. Excuse me. And Nate's diagonal is like a lightning bolt.
Yeah.
And
that
Holly...
one is referenced like in the comic.
That one is referenced in the comic, yeah.
I also read it very recently.
You did, thank you. I'm trying to find Holly's... Okay, so Holly's is like... because her power is strength, so it's like... It's like her shoulders, so it's like muscles. It's like her upper bit. It's very hard to explain without visuals. Is she
muscular because her power is strength, or is she muscular? Yeah, because she's just muscular and also her power is strength.
Yes, cool. She's just incredibly buff.
She's very good.
Like, because Sid's power is also strength, and they're not particularly huge.
Yeah, that's true.
Every time I'm just thinking of Luther from Umbrella Academy. every time I say the word big, I'm like Luther.
If they had like a Halloween party, I feel like she would be able to dress.
Holly canonically does not like dressing up. As is referenced.
Oh my god.
In a Halloween picture that I drew one time.
Oh my god, is it just because you didn't figure out the costume?
No, I was like,
you
what?
You can go back and edit it so she's Luther.
Oh my god. No, I genuinely, I was like, which character would they all dress up as? Because Nate is dressed as Neo from The Matrix. Have you not seen this? I'm going to find it. I'm going to find it for you because it's on the website.
That's amazing. I love it. He's such a douchebag. Like, I feel like a douchebag is just the perfect word to
Nate would relate heavily to Neo.
God, that sucks. I love him.
And Masha is dressed as Daenerys from Game of Thrones, and the twins are dressed as shitty ghosts, and Holly is very upset, dressed as some grapes.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
When was this from? Cool. 2016. Yeah. So this guy has a name, but I don't remember it, and it doesn't matter. The Borst.
Yeah, I just made up a word that's a combination of worst and best.
Isn't borscht a food?
Whatever, it's a word I made up.
Or is that borscht? Something. This guy has no name. And the reason his eyes are like this is because I had just read Shoot Around, and one of the characters had eyes like that, and I was like, I want to draw eyes like that.
Is it Elise?
It is Elise.
Amazing.
You should read Shoot Around. It's a very good comic. It's on Webtoon. This is a reference from a picture of Dundee. Not Dundee, sorry, Aberdeen, where I used to live.
I'm not interested.
Worst. Okay. I don't know food. I do know food.
Oh, worst? Like,
No, I'm sure borscht is something. I don't want to Google it, though, on the stream. Can you Google borscht for me?
I was Googling something else, but okay.
This is...
I'll do it.
This is a house near Corstorphine, near Edinburgh, which I went to find on Google Maps. This is also somewhere near Corstorphine, this top panel, which I stole from Google Maps. Thank you, borscht, yes, okay, I was right. A sour soup is Russian.
That is very good. Sorry, I was Googling something else.
Yeah, you were not Googling that. You were not Googling borscht.
I was doing it, it's for the greater good.
Right, whatever.
Shoot Around link. There we go.
Oh, okay, thank you. This car, by the way, this van is like magically expanding according to how big I need it to be at any given point.
Maybe the van has powers.
The van does have powers. So here's another fun fact. This one's more a fun fact about me. My favorite number is 21. So I stick.
You're such a nerd.
So I put the number 21 in wherever I can. So this house is number 21, and Victor's birthday is March 21st.
Woof. Oh, coming up.
It's coming up.
What are you going to do?
Nothing.
You're going to do something? You're going to celebrate?
I'm going to do fuck all like I do every year.
Brutal.
But something annoying about the way I drew this was to me, whatever, the doorbell is on the right side of the door, but then the door opens, the hinges are on that side as well, so it's like if you ring it, the door opens this way. It's bad. It's bad house design. It should have been on the other side.
Well, some houses are designed badly. That can be canonical.
It is canonical that Corstorphine houses are just terrible. I still super like this panel. This is a fun panel. Yep.
His design is very nice, like...
Who's this kid?
Yeah.
Arush, yeah.
There's just something very likable about that first panel where he's in with the cereal.
Yeah. Yeah, so this whole now I can answer your question from earlier where you were like, was there anything that was more fun to draw than you expected? This whole chapter was not planned. Okay, so I knew what was happening. I knew the basics. I was like, Victor goes on a mission. There are three kids, and then they run into Paulina. But I didn't know what the kids would be doing until I basically got to them when I was like drawing it. This is how I write a lot of my stuff. It's very haphazard and slapdash. But it worked out really nicely because there's sort of like a ramping up of violence, I want to say, from the Urquhart crew. So like in the first one, the kid is like thrown into the van and you don't really see how he got there, but he's like bruised. And then in this one, it's like a peaceful... The kid's just running away, but they still tackle him and they're like, haha, this is a lot of fun. And then the third kid that they pick up is like a lot more violent. So I wanted that kind of like gradual...
Yeah, I think that really works. I didn't think of it that way, but it really works when it's like gradual from...
Yeah, and I like... Obviously, it's like, it's bad what they're doing, but I wanted the characters to not really see it that way. So Masha especially, because she's like, oh, fun, huh? Like, the consequences of what they're doing doesn't really occur to her.
Yeah.
But as an outsider, Victor is like unsure.
Yeah, this is fun.
But he's also complicit later, because I mean, he's still part of this system. Like he trained in this system. So later when they find Ben, he's like, oh fuck, there he is. Let's get him. Like, go get him, please. Also, this is a continuing trend where Victor doesn't really know what's going on because he doesn't watch the news. For reasons. For reasons.
Oh, for reasons?
He's not a fan of the news.
Oh no. I just thought he was a dumbass.
He is a dumbass. And also just doesn't watch the news. Oh, so I made a tweet about this ages ago, but at breakfast, Julia put her elbow in her eggs. She still has eggs on her elbow.
Oh no! Oh, that stresses me out.
What, does it?
Yeah, it does. It's so gross. That's disgusting.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, I'll never be able to not see it. Does she not feel it? Like,
I don't know, I just thought it would be funny. So the reason she put her elbow in her eggs earlier, I'm going to go back to it so you can see.
Oof. The grapes.
So the reason she has her elbow in her eggs is because I drew her resting her hand, or her head on her hand, and then I was like, oh wait, fuck, there's no room for her tray.
Yeah.
So I just drew the tray under her.
Continuity there, man.
Yep. See, I don't remember important things like the uniform colors, but I do remember to draw eggs.
As you should.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said before, Joe and Julia used to date, and I literally never realized they both had names that started with J until I said that out loud just now. And so I want, like, it'll be said later, but I wanted to set up that they had, like, a little rapport. They know each other. They're friends. So when I posted this, someone was like, are those panties on the wall? No, they're not panties. They are...
oh, yeah.
They're little owl decorations that my friend made me.
Oh, the ones that are on your chair?
No, different owl decorations that a friend made me. They are... I'll show them to you. It's just like a little string of homemade owls out of this cute little fabric.
Mm-hmm.
I got them for Christmas 2014, and I thought they were really cute. And I thought... So Sylvia is like a crafty person. I thought maybe... Sylvia's the blonde one. Mm-hmm. I thought it would be fun if she like made little owls for the hall, because it's a pretty miserable looking hallway.
That is cute.
They're not pants.
Well, death of the author.
Well, if you want to think about pants on the wall, that's fine. I do like this trend of whenever I have like a close-up of Julia and I don't really know how to draw her, I just draw her filling the panel. And it works out well every single time. They're not panties, Josh. They're little owls. Okay, let me see. Let me remember. I'm sure this says something, this poster. The top says guidelines. And then it must...
What are the guidelines?
I don't know. It must say something, because I can see words. But we'll never know.
God damn, I just scribble.
I
just scribble when I...
Usually I scribble, but if I can fit it in, I'll write something.
That's real dedication.
Oh, so something else, because this is where they live and they want to make it a little cheerier. Each unit has, like, either the names of who lives there, or, like, Toby, Neil, and Sid's unit just has a picture of those three, which I thought was cute. More Neil antics. So, I wanted Neil here. Okay, I've got to be really careful for spoilers. I wanted Neil here and also at the party to have a little, like, invisible thing. So you could see what it looks like when people go invisible using an invisibility variation.
Yeah.
So that when Paulina goes invisible... End of sentence.
You got a question.
Okay, so I don't do photo reference for expressions. I only do photo reference for poses. And I don't know why that is. I've never thought about doing references for expressions. For expressions, I just do whatever. I just do what feels right in the moment. Yeah, no, it's only ever, like, poses or, like, perspective or something that I don't know how to draw. I've never thought about,
About doing reference for...
For expressions, I've never thought about that.
I feel like you personally, like, you specifically, if you feel like you don't need them...
I know, but, I've never thought why... That's interesting.
Oh, I know that, like, some people have, like, a little mirror next to their desk or something, so they can do, like...
Oh, no, like, I understand why you would do that, but yeah. I've never clocked that I don't do that, because I use reference all the time.
Yeah. To be fair, I never do expressions either.
So this is Toby. He's got his gloves on.
What's his variation?
It's bio.
Oh, okay.
So Toby's whole deal is that he can do the nerve trigger that Ben does later, which is basically like making your brain think that your nerves are feeling pain.
Yeah.
But it's like constant, so he can't turn it off.
Right.
But he also has no inhibitor, so he's temporarily wearing the gloves until he gets an inhibitor. Nate is enormous in this panel.
Wait, I have to see this.
He's huge in this panel.
I don't know, it looks pretty normal.
What's the word? Not perspective. Proportions are a little bit off. Don't think about it too much.
I thought it was like for, like, creative liberty.
Yes, that's exactly it.
That's what you can just say every time something is wrong now.
Yes, it's meant to be that way. So this is the scene. Basically, I didn't really know what was going to happen in this scene up until a few pages before. Like, I knew what was going to happen, but I didn't know how it would happen, which is basically how I work a lot of the time. And I was flying home from visiting my parents, and I drew Ben for the first time, like some guy with a gross arm. I'd also just watched Akira, and I was like, I want a character with a big gross arm. So thank you, Akira, for Ben, and thank you, that specific flight, for this whole scene. It was also the scene where I was like, oh no, do people know what they're in for? Because up until now, I mean, the comic's been pretty, like... Child-friendly. There's maybe been some swear words, but it's not been, like, horrific.
Yeah.
And when I was drawing this, I was like, how gross can I go? Because I did explicitly avoid drawing, like, the inside of Neil's arm, for example, when he goes invisible. The inside of his head. For a while, like, in the opening scene of the second chapter when they're going to breakfast and Neil is, like, slowly going invisible, I was like, how cool would it be if his head is gone and you can see what's inside his neck? And then I was like, that's too gross. I won't draw it. And then I drew this scene.
But I also think there's a difference in, like, how that's portrayed, because if you draw a scene where it's just them having breakfast and he's, you know, invisible and it doesn't necessarily hurt him, then it makes sense that it's not gross. But when you're drawing a scene where, like, it's supposed to be horrific and the main character is, like, watching and reacting to it, then having it a little grosser makes sense.
That's true. I'll pretend that's the reason.
I'm just sitting here to, like, give you out.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know why I did this. And you're like, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why you did it. But yeah, here's Victor and Nate are talking about Masha and how it's awkward. And Nate never really tells Victor anything that's going on. Like, he didn't know Masha was on the team. He doesn't really know what he's up to. Classic Nate. I still really like this panel.
Which one?
You'll see it. You're like a couple minutes behind. You gotta wait.
Oh, this one okay.
The clack.
Clack.
I was recently drawing, not recently, like a few months ago, I was drawing Ben in my sketchbook on the train, and the guy who was sitting next to me was like, is that glass? Is he full of glass? And I was like, oh, no, it's like, it's bone. And he was like, oh, and he like turned away from me. It was very embarrassing. But yeah, so here, even though in the previous scene with Arush getting arrested, Victor was kind of not really sure about it. Here he's, even though it's obvious that this guy is hurt and hiding, he's like shouting Nate over to do his job. So he's still part of the system, and here he's doing his clutchy face thing again. And he's doing it again here. There we go. Okay. It doesn't really matter, man.
No, why not?
Okay. So yeah, basically, because I don't really know how obvious it is in the comic, he had a tracker in his arm. Everyone has, well, all the variants have trackers in their arms. Like in the beginning, baby Victor is like, yeah, I have a little plaster. He took his tracker out and then tried to close. Because he's bio, so he thought he could close the wound instead of healing himself. He made all of his bones grow gross, and some bones grew out of his eye, and it's very gross. I'm very sorry.
I got that from reading.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think it was obvious.
All right. I'm concerned about, because I know I'm very bad for, what's the word? I'm very bad for just showing the world without actually explaining a lot of it. Because I like to read stories that are like that, but I appreciate that sometimes it can be a bit too much. Oh,
you mean you're bad for doing that? You're not bad at doing it?
No, I'm bad for doing it.
I was about to argue, and it's
no, I'm very good at doing it, but I'm bad for doing it.
Yeah, I don't think it's bad. But then again. Have you read my comic? What chapter are we on now?
This is 3.
Okay.
We're like halfway through 3. This was a fun little action scene to draw. This was the first like actual action scene that I got to draw. And I didn't really know what I was doing. Like, Masha didn't have to leap up into the air here and then land. It was only a few meters.
Hey,
but it's nice and dramatic. She can do what she wants. I also still don't really know how to draw fire after all these years. I really like this panel with the yes covering his eye.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so this page originally didn't have these red bits filled in with like where Holly's face is all red.
That's one of my favorite parts in the comic.
Like, oh, really?
Visually, for sure. Yeah,
I love it. Yeah, originally it was just white. It was all empty, like this last panel. And then a lot of people were confused as to what was going on, which is totally fair. So it's supposed to be pain. So I added this in so it was a little bit more clear. Yeah, no, I do. I agree, Josh. I like being able to work things out. It feels more rewarding to me to be able to like get a solution for myself and then be told it rather than just be told from the get-go, if that makes sense. This page is probably my least favorite page in the entire comic.
Really?
Yeah. It just feels super messy to me. Like,
but it's also a messy situation.
It's very, yeah, it's like a very crammed page. I really did not plan for speech bubbles very well. It's fine. It could be worse.
I think it works.
Yeah, it's serviceable. Okay, I'm trying to read what this graffiti says up here. It says something, but I don't remember what. It's so funny rereading this with like the old speech bubbles.
Mm-hmm.
Cause now I'm like, yeah, I did a much better job relettering these for the book. Especially, I redid a lot of the sound effects as well. Ba 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 ba. And yeah, so even though like Victor joined Urquhart when he was younger, he knows some things, but he doesn't know everything about facility life. He doesn't really know a lot of the procedures, and he doesn't know a lot of the basic stuff that most people know. So he's still like an outsider wherever he is. Even though he's back at Urquhart where he's supposed to belong, he still doesn't know shit. This whole scene was so much fun to draw, even though it was all in this bloody van, which I was so sick of drawing by the end. It was so hard to make it look interesting when they were all just sitting in a car for... How many pages is this? Like 5 pages. Bye, Josh. Josh, sweet dreams. Yeah, I'm just reading this. I'm sorry for silence. Another helpful comic hint: if you're going to make a comic where the vocab regularly includes words like pyromanipulative, be ready for a lot of wrangling. These speech bubbles are always so unwieldy. Oh yeah, so their team is 135. There's no special meaning there. I just picked 135. This alleyway, I think, is an alleyway somewhere in Edinburgh. I went and took a bunch of reference pictures of alleyways, and then never used any of them. Oh yeah, so Arush, who is also Electro, like Victor, knows Victor's name.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. Is that a spoiler?
Well, guess we'll find out. Guess we'll find out why he knows his name.
Damn. Does he show up again?
Who knows? Can neither confirm nor deny. But like Paulina found some information about Victor pretty easily.
Yeah, true.
She Googled him.
Well, he was there was a trial.
There was a trial.
Whole thing. So is that how he knows his name?
Don't know. Do you want to do me a huge favor?
Yeah. Do you want tea?
Oh, I'd love some tea. Do you also want to get me my charger?
Yeah. Okay. So 2 favors.
2 things. No, I'm on like 9%.
Oh no.
And it's like.
Do I need to hurry?
No, but if you could bring it before
I make the tea. Thank you. I was gonna.
Thank you.
I am an expert at favor doing.
At favor, thank you so much.
Favor doing, yeah. Also, I'll go pee.
Please pee.
Just so the stream that was.
Alex Hassan peeing.
Yeah. That's my new comic.
That's your new hourly.
It's interactive. You just use.
No! No! Oh no, okay, now it's just me and I'm all alone and I'm scared. Huh? It's in the studio. So this is the first page where I've switched from inking in Photoshop. In this one, so this is the last one I inked in Photoshop. And then in this one I switched to Clip Studio, which has a really nice, smooth, nice brush. Really like it. So now when I do the comic, I pencil and letter in Photoshop. And then I switch to Clip Studio for inking and flatting, and then I go back to Photoshop for coloring and effects and all that stuff. And it's a little bit of a kerfuffle, but I'm so used to the process now. It's super easy to do. If anyone has joined recently, also feel free to.
Had a lot of cables.
It is that one. If anyone's joined recently, feel free to ask questions if you have any. Yes. Thank you, pal.
You're welcome.
Okay. So this whole final scene was what I was basically looking forward to for like 3 years, 2 years, however long it took. And I was really, really worried about doing it, especially because there was this whole like action thing at the beginning, but I'm happy with how it turned out. Yeah, I mean, there's maybe some things I would change, but that's just kind of the nature of webcomics. And you look back at old things, you're like, oh, you know what? I wish I could change everything. This wasn't super explicit, but Victor does not like fire. Doesn't like anything, I don't think. He doesn't like any of the elements. And she's here, my daughter. I actually included, so I don't really do a lot of thumbnailing. I usually only thumbnail when I have a really specific scene or sequence in mind. But this one, like Paulina turning around and then Victor rolling away, was something that I like pictured so clearly. So I included those thumbnails. I included a bunch of thumbnails for a bunch of different scenes in my book, in the concept art at the back. The Kickstarter is still running, so if you'd like to back it, please do, and look at all my hard work over the past 4 years. And the next 8 years, hopefully I'll have another 2 books out. What's my process for paneling? I don't really have one. Again, it's just kind of like whatever feels right. I'm so sorry. I don't actually have a good answer for this. It's like the way that I lay out pages is I put all the text and then I decide how much room each panel needs, and then I'm making it up as I go. I'm honestly like whatever feels right. No rules, just right. Which is the worst, most cop-out answer, but I'm really sorry. That's how I do it. I mean, it does mean a lot of the time my layouts are pretty weak. It's something I'm definitely trying to get better at, like be more conscientious about. So something that I'm only just recently in the past couple of years thinking more about is lettering and how that affects the page. So I think I'm pretty good at lettering now. Hopefully layouts and composition will be my next thing. But yeah, no, I'm so happy now that Paulina is here and I can talk maybe a little bit about her. I wish... So the way that I had her kind of like invisible bits here was I basically just erased whatever with like a textured brush. And I wish I could redraw it. I'm not super happy with this effect, but it kind of gets across what I was going for. I really like this clunk panel. That's a lot of fun, in my opinion. Yeah, so like this page, this whole scene, I think, is where I started to play a little bit more with panels and sequence and a little bit more imaginative. I love these two so much, if the page eventually loads. I do really like... oh my god, what is happening? I do really like their dynamic. Oh boy. They're a lot of fun to write. Hopefully they'll get on a little bit better as time goes on, but who knows? I don't know. These three panels, whenever Victor is freaking out and using, like, just sparking all over the place, those are always, like, the most fun panels to draw. Also, just, like, crazy shaped eyes. Sorry, I know it's, like, zooming in and out like crazy. Crazy shaped eyes are the most fun thing to draw. So something that, again, if this page loads, it was around this time that I started to think a little bit more about lettering. It doesn't really come across, but something I decided for Paulina was that all of her speech bubbles would be like a square shape, to kind of, and also all of her tails, her speech bubble tails, are very short, because I wanted I wanted to try and get across that her speech is slightly more stilted, or just slightly more unusual. Yeah. Sorry, I'm reading the page again. Oh no, have I already passed it? No, okay. I have another Easter egg. But yeah, I really like trying to use speech bubbles to convey things that... trying to use lettering to convey things that don't really come across in a visual medium. Like, you know, using wiggly tails to sort of indicate like a quaver or something. Masha, I love her. I was super proud of this whole scene. I'm super happy with this whole scene and how it came out. And it's interesting to see, like, the original pencils for this page was much less, I don't want to say dynamic, but it was much less interesting visually. So my next comic making tip, I guess, is that if a scene or a page isn't really working, just scrap it and start over, because 9 times out of 10, when you redo it, it will be better. You just gotta get the rubbish out. Yeah, these two middle panels are like my promotional thing for everything. Oh, you're a star, thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, I just put all this stuff in Tupperware.
No, it's fine. So, something I just mentioned, yeah. I don't know as a huge lettering fan, you'll be interested to hear.
Oh, I love lettering. It's my favorite part.
I know.
Oh, that was the first sarcasm of tonight.
Was that the first sarcasm?
I think from me, yeah.
I did promise sarcasm. You haven't really delivered. Paulina's speech bubbles are always square, and her tails are always very short.
Because that's how she speaks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. That's cool.
Yeah. Oh no, not Tumblr.
I did the square speech bubble one time for Vaya in Cosmic Chase.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because she's an alien. And I was like, this would be fun.
I like using that kind of stuff. It's fun.
That's it for me in terms of lettering.
So something else, which I think I've already told you, about Masha and Nate, because Masha's kind of grown up under Nate, as like with Nate as an authority figure. She's picked up some of his speech patterns. This was originally a mistake.
Wait,
this
what?
was so. This on this page, Masha says, "Are you really so stupid as to attack me twice?" And earlier, Nate says, "Chalice wouldn't be so stupid as to do something." And so when I was rereading this, I was like, "Oh no, I've used the same phrase twice." And then I was like, "No, I'm actually just a genius."
Yeah.
And it's because Masha has picked up on Nate's speech patterns.
You're giving away the game, though.
No, this is a little secret for the stream. Just a little secret, just between us.
I love it.
Thank you.
You know I love that shit. And I love the relationship, like I said.
Thank you. Yeah, what's this thing that Paulina's doing to Masha? I don't know. We'll never know. We will know. I don't want to say that. We will know, eventually. But yeah, so even after, like, all this has gone down and Nate actually full-on shoots Paulina, Victor is, like, freaked out, but not freaked out at the idea that Nate shot someone. So this is kind of, like, normalized. There's a lot of violence that Urquhart commits that's totally normalized. Which is bad and may be addressed at some point. But who knows? So I'm now going to slurp some tea into the microphone. I also, so this was super important to me, that there's gender-neutral language.
Yeah, I noticed that when I was reading.
Yeah, because Nate doesn't know Paulina and uses they for her. And I have, like, a fun... Is it fun? I don't know. This will be pointed out at some point. Next chapter, specifically. Because now Victor knows that she's she.
Yeah.
But Nate doesn't. So yeah, we don't really know what Masha and Victor's deal is. Like I said, it may be what just happened on the most recent page. Where is he? This one? It may not. We will find out. This is the worst. I wish I could just say everything. But I cannot.
Are you recording the stream?
Am I recording the stream? I am! Oh, nice! Okay, cool. I can remember. Oh no! This is going to take up so much memory on my very limited memory laptop.
I was going to say, if you don't record it, then you can just say spoilers.
No, I'm not going to say spoilers. You're just trying... No.
I just want to know.
I won't say anything.
Remind me to ask you later something about Chasers. We're trying a line.
DM it to me so that... Okay. Also something that I like to do in Inhibit, because it takes place in the UK. Spoilers! It takes place in the UK. Which, whenever people don't realise that, I'm surprised, because, I mean, they say mum, and they drive on the left side of the road, and other British things. But I like using British terms, and then not translating them, like, I was creased, or something else, probably, that I can't remember. So yeah, Nate's acting a little weird about this whole weird situation. Masha and Holly is like, Is something up?
Mm-hmm.
Something may be up. We don't know. This is basically just my chance to be like, did you notice? And then Paulina's crawling back to her nest. So I actually did go and find a YouTube video about how to treat a gunshot wound. So thank you, that YouTube video, for this information. And then I said that the channel that made this video uploads a new video every Wednesday, because that's when I upload my comic.
Oh, very clever.
Is it?
I think, yeah.
No, it's not really clever. It's just a thing.
It's just cute.
Also, this top panel, this reference picture is me, and I was staying at my parents' house, and I literally just emptied what was in my backpack, and was like, which of these items would Paulina have?
And then you went on Goggle.
And then I went on Goggle. So this little bag of money, which she has, that was my bag of money. That was my bag of American coins. And I've got my British plug, and my deodorant, and my water bottle.
It's pretty good.
I know. That's why I said it. Oh, thank you, Harry, for this. Just going to skip all the guest art again. So that was chapter 3. Way, we're almost at the end. Thank you, Spire. Thank you, Steph. Thank you, Emily. Thank you, Fred. Okay. Chapter 4. Okay, give me a minute. I'm gonna drink some tea because my throat is really dry. Again,
everyone, listen close.
Listen close.
Gonna drink some tea.
Listen close to this.
Gulp it up.
ASMR. Again, if you have any questions, I'm gonna drink my tea real quick. I will be 30 seconds. Please feel free to ask them.
In the meantime, you can read this, and you can tell me if it reads. This is a very casual stream, I've decided.
Oh, it's whatever. It's fine. It's chill.
Sorry.
Bash things.
Just like they're talking on the phone, and then just tell me if you understand what they're talking about. It doesn't matter.
Oh.
Just this.
Who is this?
Pam.
Okay. Interesting.
Do you get it?
No.
Okay, I feel like maybe you're overthinking it. Okay, later.
Later, yeah. I'm in.
Stream.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. So, it's the next day. I'm back. Hello. It's the next day. I didn't drink my tea. I was just reading Shade Runners. This little intro was something that I wrote like a couple of years before. I was like, I want Julia to be dramatic. And so I found a way to use it here. Oh, that's a good question. Will we see the story behind Julie's missing fingers, or will it stay in the background? We will learn how she lost something.
Well, you just got a question about that, so.
I know, that's why I'm answering.
Oh, okay.
And I guess that kind of gives it. We'll see how she lost her leg. The fingers were later, and we won't see how those happened. But she lost her, let me remember, her left leg, and we'll see how that happened. Yeah, we will see it in the comic, yes. This ice gloves thing was also something I planned years ago, and was like, I was very pleased to be able to put it in the comic. This whole comic is extremely self-indulgent, and because I don't have an editor, if I want to put something in, I just can, and it's the best. Something else throughout the comic, David is the only one who ever really does any work, any homework, or any schoolwork of any kind. And I mean, I don't know if it's really a spoiler. David is the only one who's kind of thinking about his life outside of Earl and the facilities. He's the only one who's like, okay, well, when I'm out of here, what am I going to do? So he's doing all of his homework.
That's interesting.
And he's the only one who's really studying.
So what does he want to do?
I don't know.
Does he know?
He probably knows.
Okay.
I haven't really thought about it. But Victor never does any of his homework, and Julia doesn't really do her homework either. She asks to copy David's homework later on.
Yeah.
As much as... Because David likes fantasy stories, and he likes... So there's an illustration I did. I'm going to find it. There's an illustration I did.
The recent one?
Where David is playing computer games. Let me find it. Hello, Nate. So this one, because David doesn't have a cool superpower, he's very much... He very much feels like he's relegated to sidekick status in whatever antics he gets up to with Victor and Julia. So in this, like, he really likes media where there's, like, a normal person who becomes special in some way. So there's, like, Steven Universe here, My Hero Academia, Harry Potter, and that's a map from Jak and Daxter. So, I don't know, I think that's an interesting character thing to keep in mind, that he feels like a normal person who wishes he could be more special, like his friends. Julia doesn't really know what she wants to do. She's very, like, rolling with the punches, seeing what happens. She's just living her life. And right now her life is at Earl. Oh, was it a fusion? Oh, where is it? I guess it does kind of look like Baby Victor. It is just meant to be... It is just meant to be Deku. Yeah, so here... Victor takes off his inhibitors, and even though he doesn't really need to, he just goes straight into the obs room. And Nora's like, yep, your inhibitors are just too old. And then he refuses sleeping tablets, which was stupid of him. So, I guess, like, Victor's insomnia is, like, part just, like, insomnia due to anxiety, but also because he has an electrical current running through his brain, which is going to keep you awake. So it's partly due to his power, and also just general anxiety and stuff. Which is why he looks so fucking tired, and also why Nate looks tired, because he is also electrical.
I thought that was just his natural.
He's also, it's all those things.
For Nate, at least. But I guess he's also very stressed all the
Arush, time. Let me find if Arush, maybe Arush can control his powers better. Let me see. Sorry, I'm having to, like, find... one page. No, I guess Arush isn't tired.
Well, he's home and resting.
That's true. I'm tired. I'm home. I'm tired.
Well, you're not resting. You're working.
So yeah, Victor asks Noor if there are, like, you know how there are 8 variations? There are only 8s. There are... Let me try to list them. Okay, so electricity, fire, ice, invisibility, telekinesis, strength, hypersense, and...
Do you want it?
No. I can do this. It's my comic. What? What am I missing?
Do you want to do them again?
Electricity, fire, ice, sense, telekinesis, fucking Spire. Thank you, Spire.
What did he say?
Bio.
I was gonna say that.
There are only 8. Oh yeah, the quizzes. I got cryo at Urquhart.
I'm pretty sure I got invisibility, but I don't remember super well.
Do you want to do the quiz again?
Yeah.
Do it.
I will.
Oh yeah, and here Victor's talking, and then his inhibitors light up because he's getting stressed. Fun!
How do I get to them?
It is in extras.
Okay.
Fun little flashback. These two people in the background are my friends Faye and Ryan.
Where?
Here.
Oh, yeah.
And then these three all have names, and I don't remember them except for Bronwyn because it says it right there. Those three work at Larner. We may see them later. But I love Bronwyn. She's very cute. I like this little transition. It's very silly, but it was fun. This whole scene is fun. This comic is fun to draw.
I love the transition between like you talking about the old pages and you talking about the more recent pages.
Yeah, I'm like, now I like this comic.
Yeah.
I like just getting to draw them goofing around, and even though Victor's got his weird shit going on, the other kids are just like, they're having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
They're making the best out of a bad situation. I just realized I don't think Toby's ever been shown with his, like, his triangles have never been shown, because he's wearing a little jumper here, and he's got like the green vest on earlier. He's bio in red. Why doesn't Miller teach some amount of first aid type healing to their bios? Miller is more military focused, so all of their training is about offensive skills and like fighting rather than healing. So Urquhart would teach some healing, and Larner, which is more research focused, would also teach healing. But Miller, it's just not their goal. Really, their focus. Yeah, just more kid banter. These packets say "Wow, yum," but I think that's pretty easy to read. The pencils for this middle panel were a nightmare because I couldn't work out how to draw him looking up without it looking like a monster was trying to come out of his neck. And I think it's okay.
I think it looks great.
I think it's fine.
Oh, and now I did the quiz again. I got bio.
Ooh.
So I guess it's different. I definitely didn't get bio last time.
Where are you? What facility are you at? Because there's 2 quizzes.
Oh, I think I got Miller last time.
You got Miller? Yeah. Oh my god.
What? Is that bad?
No, it's so aggressive. It would be useful as a field skill, but Miller is just more... If Miller is going in, they're not really worried about healing anyone who's, like, either needs help or being left behind. It is going to be, like, a very aggressive attack, basically. Oh, there's... What? Across the courtyard, there's like something on a shelf in someone else's thing that looks like a horrible demon.
Oh no, why would you say this to me in my own room?
It gave me such a fright. Do you see it? The red thing?
I'm not wearing my glasses.
Okay.
I'm gonna need to put them on. Why would you do this to
I don't know.
me in my own room?
I looked over and I got it right.
Oh no, I sit here every night.
No, but it's not. It looks like a head.
Oh fuck yeah, it does.
It looks like a Darth Maul head.
Oh no, why would you say this?
But you know it's not a demon. You know it's something on a shelf.
I'm gonna be freaked out by it.
Excuse me, hiccups. Oof. I got so scared by the thing in someone else's flat that I got the hiccups. So here is the second phone call that I mentioned briefly earlier. please remember that phone call from 2017.
That's not that long ago.
Yeah, that's all right. That's fine. December 2017 as well, so it was like a year and a half ago. Yeah, so here's Julia asking to copy David's homework, because she never does her homework. Every time I see this panel, it reminds me of The Simpsons. You'll see it.
No, I've like not watched The Simpsons.
Oh, it's just the eyes. The eyes are like Simpson eyes.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see it.
And I still like these two panels of Julie and Victor, the Do It ones. So yeah, I think definitely after my legs. After the Paulina scene in the last chapter, where I started to get a little bit more experimental with the layouts, it was fun to include these like random Paulina floaty heads to show that he's thinking about it. She's haunting him. Drawing the cast as The Simpsons would be, oh my god! Please do. I'd love to see that. Someone once drew Julia and Victor as minions. Have you seen that?
I have. I remember that now.
Here's another fun fact. Okay, well, multiple fun facts.
Oh boy, strap in.
Oh wait, I can't say one of them because it might be a spoiler.
You can say.
No, it's a spoiler. David's. This isn't a spoiler. I'm not going to say the spoiler one. David's guitar strap is a caution tape, again because he likes to. Like, it's the same way he was wearing the shirt that was meant for, like, a dangerous fire person. He's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get a little caution tape. A little fun, little dangerous thing. He's edgy. But in a really...
Yeah, he wants to be edgy.
In a really, like, lame way. Yeah. And also, Victor is wearing a shirt that says Alcoholic Susan, which is a fake band that I reference in, like, everything I ever write.
I didn't know that. That's really cute.
Yeah, So in the very first, here's some deep Inhibit lore. In the very first version of Inhibit, which I wrote when I was like 17, 18, and it was like extremely edgy, Victor and his friend break out of Earl to go to a concert, and they go to an Alcoholic Susan concert, and it's really bad. I have a whole list of, like, fake band names, because I'm too lazy to come up with actual real bands that the characters like, so I have fake bands that they like instead.
I would say that's the opposite of being lazy, if
no,
you're making up names.
No, but it's like, I don't have to think about which actual bands they would like. I know, Harry does this, actually. Harry has playlists for their characters, which are, like, songs that their characters would like, which is so much more intense than me. I wish I had that strength. I don't.
We kind of started doing that, and then we realized we didn't have time to do that. That took too much time.
So, another, like, in David's enjoyment of, like, fantasy stories, he has a One Piece sticker and a Sailor Moon sticker on his guitar. So Alex recently read all of Inhibit for me to check for typos.
Yes, for you.
For me. Only for me, for no other reason. And she was like, Eve, all the characters just sound like you, especially the party scene, or the getting ready for the party scene. And I was like, no. And then I went and read it, and this part where Julia's like, wait, where's my inhibitor?
Yeah, that's you.
It's me. Every time we leave the house, I'm like, wait, where's my hat? Wait, where are my keys? Oh yeah, no, David is a total weeaboo. He loves anime. That's like, I'm serious. But yeah, so now you've ruined this for me, because I'm like, fuck.
Living with you has ruined Inhibit for me, because it's like, when I see them getting ready, I just like, it's just like war flashbacks.
I'm writing what I know.
to you getting ready in the
I'm
house.
writing what I know. I'm so sorry. Gender fluid. I don't have any gender fluid characters so far in Inhibit. The trans and non-binary characters who haven't already explicitly been stated to be trans or non-binary will be eventually. But I don't have any maybe in the future, but not right now, and I'm so sorry about that. Yeah. Sorry, I'm reading the page again. Oh, for this whole fucking... So for the previous chapter, I was like, oh, this car, I've got to draw this car from all sorts of angles, and I was like, never again will I torment myself like this. And then I decided to have this whole chapter, well, not this whole chapter, this couple of pages with a guitar, which was just as bad. And I spent ages looking for, like, reference pictures of guitars and, like, the perfect angles. Ages.
SketchUp, man.
No, I own a guitar.
Oh, shit.
I have a guitar, and when I realized, I was like, okay. Okay, that's fine.
That is true. You do have a guitar.
I do.
Where is it?
It's in my room.
Oh, okay.
I'll bust it out at some point.
It was fun when we had in the living room and you would serenade me.
I will serenade you again.
Thank you. That's all I ask.
I'll move it to the living room so I remember to serenade you. I think this is the exact page where I started to do corner bubbles. Let me see. Yeah, okay. It is. Really boring lettering fact. This, like, so for example, in this one where Julia's speech bubble is in the corner, and it's like touching, it's connected to the panel border rather than overlapping it. This is the page I started to do that. And I relettered the entire comic to match it, because I love it like this. I cannot play the Simpsons theme on my guitar. Thank you for asking. Yeah, something else about Julia's room. She has a lot of, like, nature and travel, and by a lot I mean 3 posters. She's very adventurous. And on top of her thingy, what is this called? Wardrobe, she has a little box with all her lockpicks and screwdriver. So, a few weeks, this is now going to be sad, and then we'll move on. A few weeks before this page went up, my grandpa passed away. So this whole panel basically has a bunch of references to my grandpa. Like the little rabbits, he had a lot of little stuffed toys in his car, so I had little rabbits on top of the monitor, and the cup says world's best grandpa, and he's watching the football, which only my grandpa likes football. And the newspaper is supposed to say Ayr United wins, because Ayr United was his football team, and they never fucking won. Especially not 6-0.
In Inhibit canon, they always win.
Yeah, it's true. In this universe, Ayr United is the top of the league. No, Ayr United is shit. But yes, that's my my tribute to my grand. Oh, also he sang all the time. So rabbit singing a little song. Okay, let me see. Does this say anything? Oh no. Oh, okay, it's fine. Okay, I think that this is just scribbles. Oh, this is supposed to be like a map of the units. Yeah, nothing more to say about this page, I don't think. Chapter 4, page 20. Nice.
Nice.
Oh, stomach. I'm gonna have more of that mince after this.
Oh, really?
I am.
Ooh.
It was very tasty. So this was a fun little thing to draw, because like when I started this comic, I didn't realize just how much of it would be just people in uniforms, and you wouldn't really get to show people's like personality through their clothes very much. So Victor's is extremely mismatched.
I think it's a good look on him. I know it's not his shirt. But it looks kind of nice.
Thank you. Thank you on his behalf. Joe really likes like really fancy little dresses. George. Drogue. Neil, where is Neil? Neil is wearing a shirt that says Big Egg.
What?
Because Neil is a big egg. Toby is wearing... on the next page, I'll show you.
Oh.
Toby is wearing just his uniform shirt. So just basically what he was wearing earlier, but he swapped out his trousers. He's wearing a skirt. So this is Joe's room. And I wanted to look very, like, cutesy. And then she has a poster on her wardrobe that says something like Full Hell Death Shit. Which I'm assuming is a band that she likes. I don't really know what that is. Oh, also, they are drinking Byron Rue, which is this universe's Iron Brew, which is my favourite fizzy drink. It's disgusting. It's the only people who like it are Scottish people. I'm sorry. There, Big Egg.
You should be sorry. It's disgusting.
Do you see Big Egg?
What?
Big Egg. I was going to zoom in a sec.
Oh, yeah. I see it. Thank
you. You can see my mouse. What?
That's my
you.
mouse.
Okay. Whatever. No! What are you talking about?
What?
Iron Brew is nuclear. I agree, Alex. It's bad. No!
Thank you.
Wrong.
Thank you.
Terrible. Terrible opinions.
It's Nathan.
It's terrible opinions.
Just saying. You said someone. It's Nathan.
Say it's Nathan. There are multiple Nathans. No, this was a nice scene to draw. They're just hanging out. And I like to think that they do this quite a lot, where they leave their units when they're not really supposed to, and just go and eat stolen food and hummus and drink Byron Rue.
Byron Rue.
I really like Neil's outfit. I want Neil's
panel.
outfit here. This one?
Yeah.
So this was inspired... Okay, so I recently finished a master's degree in comics and graphic novels at the University of Dundee.
Brag.
Do not recommend. But it made me look at a lot of comics that I wouldn't have looked at otherwise, and made me find inspiration places I never thought to look. And one of the things that we looked at, I can't remember what comic it was. It wasn't the Beano, but it was like it was like an older, like funny mag. And it had this page of this whole garden party. So it was one picture, but it was split into different panels like this is, to show like what different things were going on at the party. I thought that was super cool, and I stole it for this 2 little panels. And I think it was effective, even if the lettering in this is an absolute nightmare to look at. That is my fact about this page. The carrots say yeah. Can you see the full? No, you still can't see it. I'm trying to, because the top of this death shit poster is always cut off, so I can't remember the top word is, but it's something like Full Hell Death Shit.
Sounds like a band you would enjoy.
No, it doesn't.
No?
It sounds like a song I would enjoy.
Yeah, that's true. You know what? You're right.
I am right. Victor being sad. Classic. David is huge in these panels. Oops. He's huge! Look how big he is!
I don't know, I just assumed it was, like, exaggerated for effect.
Yes, that's why.
Because it's like a cartoony David.
Yeah, it's meant... he should be smaller. And yeah, so even though Victor knows a little bit of sign language to speak to David, he still doesn't know a lot.
I really like these details of, like, specifically what words you decided he wouldn't get necessarily.
Yeah, it's fun to play with that kind of stuff. I don't think Victor would be able to speak to any other person who knows sign language.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of it would probably be, like, made up between them two.
Mm-hmm.
David would be able to speak sign language fairly okay. But Victor's just kind of making it up as he goes. This WAM was inspired by a Spider-Man panel, which I have saved somewhere. I retweeted it a year ago. What are you looking for?
What?
What are you doing?
That's my own thing.
Okay.
None of your business.
But yeah, it was like a really cool, either like slam or wham or something, sound effect. I really liked it. So I was like, I will also do big letters. Seeing something that you like and then trying to do it yourself is a totally valid way to make a comic. Or do any art. In my humble opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, I forgot about this page. Thank you, Spire, for this April Fool's page. Nothing really to say about this page, other than he's brushing his teeth and he's doing it properly this time.
Wait, can I see? I need to see it to believe it. Oh yeah, I see it.
It's this one.
Yeah.
I have a question to put to everyone here, because Alex raised this and I never really thought about it before.
Oh boy.
No, it's fine. So here, Victor is... You all here could have an influence on the book. Victor has his mouth full of toothpaste. So he's speaking like how you would speak if your mouth is full of toothpaste and a toothbrush. So here when he says, "Can you wait?" He doesn't say the T, "Can you wait?" because he's got his mouth full of stuff. In your opinions, should I keep it as way, or should I change it to wait because it's confusing and it looks like a typo as way? Send your answers in now, and I'm going to keep talking.
I wouldn't have necessarily changed it to wait, but I just figured...
Or like, because I was thinking
an
like...
I instead of a Y.
But that looks like Y.
I know, it looks weird, but it's also like my mind didn't immediately connect it to
I
wait.
know, that's why... I mean, because when I...
Maybe if you mess up one of the words before
I was
wait.
gonna maybe put like gan.
What?
Gan Yue.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean.
Gan
Because
Yue.
if you mess up two words, then it looks intentional.
Well, I mean, because the everything else he says is like...
Yeah,
also
I
think
think
it's okay.
Honestly, yeah, keep in mind that I'm not a native English speaker.
I know, but I don't...
So
I
sometimes
think there are people reading it who also aren't native English speakers.
No, I know, but what I mean is, like, sometimes stuff doesn't come as naturally to me,
Okay.
but it's totally fine.
That's fair.
But in that way, I'm the perfect proofreader.
It is true.
Yeah.
I'm leaving the doctor and the misses and all that stuff.
Yeah.
With no periods.
That's fine.
Can Victor have dental fillings? I've never thought about it. You can get dental fillings that aren't metal. Is that why the question? Mary was talking about how her final stretch goal was giving her character Lynn a gold tooth,
Mm-hmm.
and they reached it. So her character has a gold tooth now, and she's like, "Eve, you should do the same." I'm like, no.
What do you mean? Just like...
They gave the character a gold tooth when they reached a certain stretch goal on Kickstarter. It is fun.
That is so cute.
I'm giving no one a gold tooth.
Man, if I gave someone a gold tooth, that would be a
Who
whole
would
different story.
you give?
But it would be like gold. It would be like...
Whoa, that would be so cool.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that would be awesome.
Yeah. Easton.
Easton, yeah. He opened his mouth.
How is the answer always Easton?
It's always Easton. I feel like Nate is such an obvious answer to give a gold tooth to.
I don't think it would be Nate. I think it would be like Julia or
No,
someone.
it would be Deepak to fill in his missing tooth.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be cute.
Oh, I think that would be really adorable. Yeah, you can get non-metal fillings. I'm sure metal fillings are like a more old-fashioned thing. I don't have any fillings. I don't know these things.
I don't have fillings either.
What's wrong with us?
What?
Oh, I forgot to point out the other time you can see Victor's ankle bracelet. I'm going to do that.
Do it.
I'm going to archive. I don't actually remember what page things happen on, by the way. This is just like a... Oh, but I was pretty close.
I am getting a bit sleepy, though.
I am as well, so I'll skedaddle as soon as... Do you want me to just go now?
No.
Okay. I'm in Alex's room. I'm in Alex's bed as I do this stream. There is the other time you can see the ankle bracelet. And it's in when he falls in the... Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah. Is it the right leg?
It's the left leg.
Is it the correct leg?
Yeah, yeah, but it's the left leg. So.
Yes, it is. Okay.
It is.
Also in this panel, Paulina's backpack is already there. Wow, my god. I'm really, this is just the most mundane, facts.
No, it's cool. It's stuff I wouldn't have noticed.
Yeah, it's stuff I don't really expect anyone to notice. Mm-hmm. So now this is just like an excuse to be like, hey.
Yeah.
That's there, by the way. These two panels were another thing that I thumbnailed because I could picture super clearly. This whole scene, was the one I was most looking forward to drawing since I started the comic. And now that it's over, now that I've drawn it, I have another scene equally far away in like another 4 or 5 years. So that'll be fun. Yeah, so somehow Paulina googled Earl Estate and found some article. Oh no.
Being so coy.
Is it coy or is it like passive aggressively like?
It's coy.
Is it coy? Every time I draw what?
Cute. Every time you draw, what's his name? Victor. Victor freaking out. It's always like the best panels.
They're so much fun to draw.
This is your favorite thing to draw.
It is my favorite thing to draw.
Yeah, I know. I could tell.
It is. You're right. Oh, that's not... Get rid of that. Nope, close these. Yeah, also, obviously here, because he's only wearing one inhibitor, one side is all sparky and the other one is just a little bit sparky. I think that's more obvious than the other things, but I'm still going to point it out. I'm now, like, terrified I've drawn the ankle bracelet on the wrong leg at some point. I'm just checking every single time I see it. This whole scene I've had scripted since 2014, like fully scripted, and I don't script a lot. This is one of the very few, I think there's like 3 or 4 scenes that I have fully scripted. And this was one of them. And I rewrote it so many times, and then when I actually made the pages, I rewrote it again, so it's different even to what I had planned. But this is, I think, one of the best versions. Mm-hmm. This, I accidentally made the electricity look like wings here, and then I noted it on Patreon and was like, I should fix that, and then I never did.
I don't think you should fix it. I think it looks alright.
It looks like...
I don't know.
Looks like mecha shoulder blade kind of things. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know that I've ever noticed that.
I know, it's just because I...
Also, the colors are really nice in this scene.
Thank you. Stomach's bubbling away like a fucking cauldron.
Time to put some potion in there.
Who's Frida? Next page.
God, there's so many mysteries.
There are so many mysteries. I wonder what is going to happen.
I think you have more mysteries going on than my comic.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Good.
Possible.
By the way, I extremely doubt there's anyone here who hasn't read Shade Runners, but you should read Shade Runners. ShadeRunners.com?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, alright.
Which is Alex's webcomic, which is very good. But I'm like, I bet everyone here has read or heard of it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So yeah, why didn't Paulina go to a hospital? She doesn't seem to belong to any facility. It's so strange.
It is strange. Stop teasing me.
It's so strange.
Stop teasing me. Like, genuinely, like, you told me a lot about what happens in Inhibit, but you didn't tell me these things. And so I'm very, like, chuffed. I don't know. I'm just annoyed. I just want to know what's up.
I'll tell you when the stream is over.
Please do.
Yeah, I've had some people be like, why is Julia being the way she is being in this scene? Like, what the fuck?
I feel like I understand it, because it's like, she doesn't know what happened before.
She doesn't know what happened, and also she's like,
kid their age.
She's like, fun.
Yeah.
This is an exciting, this is like, we've climbed on the roof a million times. This is something new.
Yeah, but also, like, on a more serious note, I would say, like, Paulina's, like, about their age and is clearly hurt.
Yeah.
And is not actively doing anything aggressive.
Yeah.
Like, so why, I don't know.
And Victor is known to freak out about small things,
exactly.
So. In this case, in this case, he is probably in the right. But.
From his perspective.
Both sides have good points.
Yeah, exactly.
She did try to kill him. Or Masha, at least.
Yeah. But also she was under threat.
Mm-hmm.
So part of that was self-defense.
It's all... Oh, there's so many things. There's so many things.
Oh, boy.
Here's another Easter egg. I keep calling them Easter eggs. Here's another thing that I did. Julia's shirt says Albertville 92, which is where the Winter Olympics were held the year I was born. And I chose...
Was she there?
No, but I was like... What's an ice-related thing? The Winter Olympics. Oh. What number should I pick? 92. This is another example of people's hair getting bigger as time goes on, because, like, I'm going to go back to the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Back to the beginning. Yeah, keep going. Louder.
No, that was it.
That was it? Aww.
That was a little aria, as you call it.
I don't call it that. Paulina's hair in the beginning was very straight. So, the character designs, my air quotes, character designs, were rubbish. And my rule for drawing Paulina was that her hair was very, like ropes of oil. So it would, like, come down and then pool a little bit and then come down even further.
I draw Pam's hair like that a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, where it's like... Yeah.
So that was my, like... It was just, like, meant to be thick ropes of oil. Like, that's how I thought to draw it. It's not actually how her hair is. But then I was like, no, that's terrible, and I want it to be big, so I made it big.
I think that works better with all the action she's involved
Yeah, and also, even when she's standing still, her hair can be, like, moving.
Yeah.
And it's fun. Yeah, no, this is just such a fun scene to draw.
Mm-hmm.
Also, she doesn't seem to know what pyro means. What? Maybe she doesn't...
because she wasn't from one of the,
You're right.
She doesn't... so sharp.
She doesn't know the terminology.
Mm-hmm.
Mysterious. Also, so, you can see throughout this scene, Victor has his little scar from where his tracker is. And Julia had it in the party scene as well. When she was wearing her tank top, you could see it. Again, I have nothing interesting to say about these pages other than that they were so much fun to draw.
I think it really comes across.
I'm glad. Oh no, I've just realized I've colored her crutches wrong. Well, I'm not changing it, but...
She could have more than one pair.
That's true. So this is where the t-shirt comes back. And Paulina says her name. Is it her real name? We don't know.
Oh, jeez. I guess now you said it.
Now that
I guess we know.
Well, we don't know. I could be lying. I could be trying to throw you off the track.
God.
Who knows? It's a mystery. So, yep. Sleep, bed, next. Thank you, Lee. My stomach is going fucking wild.
Is that just
It's my stomach!
Oh boy.
It's going blah, 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 blah,
Go eat the mince.
I'm almost finished this. Do you want me to... When do you want to go to bed? I can go.
I can go whenever.
Okay, well...
I'm getting a little sleepy.
I know. That's why I'm like, I can just go and you can go to bed.
Well, whenever is a good stopping point for you, I guess.
Well, okay. I'm on the last chapter and it should not take that long.
Yeah, so do it.
Okay. Thank you again to all lovely guest artists. Please go and look at all of their guest art.
That's so good.
Which one?
In Orbit.
It's so funny. Okay, so, chapter 5. My idea for this chapter cover was mimicking patriotic British comics. Thank you. Do you want it unlocked?
Yeah. I want to tweet.
Patriotic British comics. So the one that I referenced was Captain Britain, because the idea was I wanted to... Oh, it's not loading. That's fine. Here it is. Okay. Captain Britain. I wanted to make some sort of reference to like patriotic nonsense comics and also kind of show how Urquhart is viewed in this world. It's like, we're British and we're going to defend our country. So this whole opening speech by Esser, who was the head of Urquhart, is very like up its own ass. But everyone's buying into it and Victor is so excited to be part of this. And it's very sad.
He's like 8.
This chapter is full of cameos from other webcomics.
Oh, boy.
So we have the Shade Runners from shaderunners.com.
Yeah. Well, some of the Shade Runners.
No, it's all 6.
What?
Yeah. So it's
oh my god, it's true.
Satinder, Ivo. Satinder has fire. Ivo has electricity. Dom has strength. Easton also has fire. Ezra has ice, and Pam has telekinesis.
For some reason, I remembered that there was only 3 of them.
That's later, yeah.
Oh my god, they're so cute.
And I picked all of those myself, so they may not be accurate.
There's no such thing as accurate when
but I thought
their variation.
Their powers. I thought Pam
yeah.
having telekinesis would be fun because she puppeteers.
Yeah, no, I think this is it's great.
No, this was so much. It was okay. When I started drawing this chapter, I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to get to draw them all happy and excited. I can't wait to draw baby Victor and I can't wait to draw baby Nate. And I got like 3 pages in and I was like, this was the worst idea of my life. I miss my miserable kids so much, and as much fun as I did have drawing this chapter, I'm so excited that the next chapter is back to normal. So throughout this chapter, you also see all of the old inhibitors. So, like, they've got the old clunky electricity ones, and there's like the old... I mean, so the telekinesis inhibitor was very, very hidden, but it's here, and it's on the back of Masha's neck. So it's this little thing on the back of her neck. That's her inhibitor. Whereas, as we're about to see, the old one was like this huge neck brace thing with a little thing on the forehead as well. So, come so far. Here's another cameo. This is my friend Harry, and their characters Yannick and Sheppy from Finding Home, which is also a very good comic that you should read. It's on Tapas and Webtoons.
I'll link.
Please link, yes. This hand is my favourite hand I've ever drawn in Inhibit.
Can I just say how cute I think it is that Harry is their own character's mentor?
Well, because it's
very cute.
I basically asked my friends, do you want me to put you in as your character's mentors? And Harry was the only one who said yes. No,
did I not say yes?
No, you and Lynn did say yes, but I couldn't fit you in.
There's so many. We have so many characters.
Yeah, I was like, no, I'm not going to put 8.
If I had to choose between me or like the characters, then obviously the characters.
Yeah, no, that was cute. So this is Victor and Masha meeting for the first time, and Victor immediately puts his foot in his mouth because he's a demon. I really, really like... So at this point I was like full on, yeah, lettering. It's my favourite thing ever. So this, like, when he's talking about the sounds that lightning makes, his speech bubble is a little lightning cloud with a little lightning bolt coming out.
I think that panel by itself is like a perfect panel to show as like a demonstration of what Inhibit is like. Kinda.
It's got references to lightning and weird poses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And weird lettering.
And then we've got some more characters. We've got Abel, who is a bio mentor for these two little shits, Anne and Sayuri. We've got Jeremy, the long-awaited Jeremy, who we're finally seeing, who is Julia's mentor.
Mm-hmm.
And who Nate has a massive crush on.
Hell yeah. I think it reads, like, from these pages. I
would hope so. I didn't want to be heavy-handed.
Oh, it's definitely not heavy-handed. It's just that he's nicer to him than other people.
Well, at this point, he is just nice in general. He is nicer,
but I think specifically also.
Yeah, he's very like, do you need help? So this is some more cameos. Not ignore this orange-headed child. That's no one. We've got Kalo and Reggie from Spire's comic Recoil, which is recoil.smackjeeves.com, which is also very, very good, and you should read it. And their mentor is this horrible woman over here who is not Spire. This is Dr. Volan from Recoil. Volan? I don't know how you say it out loud. But you should read Recoil.
Give me a sec.
Are you going to link it? Thank you.
That's my role now.
And now we have Julia emerging. Oh, I love her so much. She has all her fingers except for one pinky. She's got a little fake pinky. Okay, I can say it however I want, but how is it actually pronounced?
God, that Julia pose looks like me.
What? Which one?
This one. The sneaky one.
It's you, like, creeping about the house. Yeah, this is how Victor and Julia met as well, and they were just friends from the beginning. I love that they're friends. I love their friendship so much.
They're really great. Feels like they accept each other, even though they're very different.
I was really worried, like, at first, because it's just, like, some grumpy boy and this girl who's, like, giving him the time of day when she doesn't really need to. But it's kind of like they've grown up together, so they're just used to each other's shit at this point. So...
Yeah, and also, like, Julia's not a perfect person either. Like, she can be very, like, annoying, I guess. Mm-hmm. So I think, like, they're both flawed. And also, like, I would say that Victor specifically during the timeline of the comic is going through kind of a harder time than usual. So I don't think it reads as, like, this is what he's like all the time. Like, that would be insane. So, yeah.
A poor boy. But it's fine. I let him win this one race in this one chapter, so he's okay. He's had some good things happen to him.
10 years ago.
10 years ago. This action scene where Anne is being a little shit. This line where Victor's like, I wish I had braces. It's because I used to wish I had braces. And then I got them and it was the worst. So here we have a person from Larner who is coming to do some checkups. So this, like, weird orange pastel shirt, this is the Larner uniform, and they have little badges to show what their variation is. So some stuff is going on.
This person from Larner, the nurse guy.
Yeah.
I love him.
So when Alex was reading this the other day, she like screamed, "Eve!" And I was like 2 rooms away, and I was like, "What? Who is this nurse?" And I'm like, "What? Why are you screaming at me?" I love him.
I do.
Oh, he looks like
He looks like he's not qualified to be a nurse.
He's not a nurse. He is a officer, or whatever the word is.
He looks not qualified to be that
That's
either.
Fine. Who's the guy from BuzzFeed Unsolved?
I don't know. You're asking me?
He looks like him, unintentionally. The reason I wished for braces was because I was 10 and stupid. I thought they looked really cool. And then I got them, and it was agony. This person in the background kind of looks like me. That was an accident. You'll see it soon.
I didn't have it open.
Oh, well, it'll zoom in it for you in a second.
Thank you. This stream is only for me.
Yeah, I know. It's literally just me talking to you.
Oh, it does look like you.
Yep, Sayuri wants to go home. Blah, blah, blah. So something else in this chapter which is like, I guess kind of subtle, is Vic touches people a lot. Just like little pats and little touches, which he never does now. He keeps his hands in his pockets now. I know he only really, I think he would be the kind of person to use his hands a lot when he talks. So he does that a lot when he's younger. And he does it a lot when he's older, when he's freaking out. Yeah. But for the most part, he doesn't anymore. This gun thing is something else that I've had planned since 2014. Which is foreshadowed in the second page of the comic. This one where he's like, "Am I gonna get a gun? You are! You are!" 2015. Yeah, 4 years later. Yeah, okay, I'm sure it's already, I said it on Twitter, so I'm sure everyone knows, but there's a whole bunch of cameos here. On the left, there's Ivo, Pam, and Dom from Shade Runners. There's Yannick and Sheppy from Finding Home. And then there's the 4 front kids, are just Inhibit kids. And on the right, there is Esphere and Misha from Your Worst Nightmare. And then there's Kaylo and Reggie again from Recoil. And then there's Anne and Masha from Inhibit, and then Lynn and Dan from Drugs and Wires, and then on the very end, there's Avron, who is from a future comic that I am going to do.
I love that page.
Thank you.
It's just so cute.
And also...
dynamic and fun.
I'm so glad, thank you. Also on this page, Victor mentions being able to feel which side, which direction north is. That's weird. Next
is that
page.
Electric?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know what's going on there. Okay. So, okay, now we're at the laser tag scene, and I don't really think there's much more I can say, because the laser tag scene hasn't finished, and I'm not going to show you the pages that haven't gone up yet. Let me just go through it, and if there's anything else I can say, I will say it. Thank you to Spire, who colored pretty much this entire scene. It looks so much better.
It's amazing.
And I'm so much happier with it now. Yeah. Let me see if there's anything else I want to say. Yeah. I can't really say anything else without... I mean... So this final chapter, this recent chapter, is as much like a setup for Masha's character arc as it is for Victor's.
Oh, that's such a good scene.
So I don't know, I think it's interesting to like notice what Masha is up to this chapter. And I don't want to say anything else, I guess.
I said this before, but I love how like flouncy her hair is.
I love baby Masha's hair. It's very, very cute. I love baby Masha in general. I love all of my baby kids. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And if you back my Kickstarter, which is now live, zoom in on that. I'm sure it's fine. Don't have to. The bonus comic is going to be about how Victor and David met, so you will see a younger David as well, and it's very, very cute. Okay, I'm going to let Alex sleep now. I could have just gone through to my room, but
No, this was nice. I'm glad I didn't miss the ending.
Which way up is this? You didn't even do your nails?
No, I didn't paint my nails at the end because I was doing something else. Oh. And also participating
in my stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Any last questions?
Any last questions? Otherwise, I'm going to say goodnight and go to bed and sleep forever.
Oh boy. I thought you were going to eat the chili.
I'm going to eat some chili or some mince, and then I'm going to go to bed.
Oh yeah, I guess we didn't make chili.
Yeah, it's mince.
It's just mince. It's bolognese.
It's bolognese, yeah.
Technically, it's bolognese.
No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the bathroom and then eat some mince. I could run a bath and eat it in the bath. No, I'm absolutely bursting for a pee.
That's a great note to end on.
It is. Thank you for coming. I desperately need the toilet.
Thank you, Spire.
Thank you, Spire. I've no fun note to end on. I hope you enjoy the rest of this chapter, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the comic, because I am going to enjoy drawing it. Oh, thank you so much. I'm super excited to get the books sent out to people, and I just finished up the bonus comic yesterday, and I think it's going to be really cute. There's a bunch of like extra old drawings that I've never posted anywhere. It's got like the first drawings of all the characters in it, which are wild to look at. Victor looks like a big jock turnip.
What?
His hair is like, you've seen it.
Yeah, I'm just surprised at this description.
He looks like a jock, and he's got turnip hair.
Your next comic the hero should be a turnip who's a jock.
It should be, you're right. I missed a trick there.
I would read it, yeah. Forget Inhibit.
Did you see the extra pages? Oh yeah, the bonus ones.
You literally showed them
I thought you were
talking
about, I was thinking about the concept pages.
Oh, I've not seen them, I don't think.
I can show them to you if you want.
Please.
Okay.
Do.
Thank you guys for coming. Good night.
Good night.
And thank you for listening to me ramble about my comic for way longer than I thought I was going to. I'm just gonna wait a little while for the stream to catch up, and then I'm going to leave. Bye. Just gonna hang awkwardly and wait. I know.
There it is.
Yeah. I'm gonna wait till it stops moving.
Spooky. I'm painting my nails now. You can't tell me what to do.
Please, go ahead. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.